bit. Hello, anybody out there watching us on the YouTubes? Yeah,
Better late than never. They'll get there.
yeah, they'll get there. They're coming around. Yeah,
Yeah.
still a 0. I'm waiting for y'all to, click
Their
on
Norton
it.
antivirus is kicking in, so they have to clean their shit first.
Yeah, because of you.
Me?
Yeah. It's like, what is all this chlamydia coming through my computer?
I've never seen sparks come out the hard drive before.
Is that one time
Yeah.
in Amsterdam?
Yeah. Well, ooh.
That's got to be code or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well. Tracy.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Sure.
Yeah?
I'm just sharing the thing.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, well then what are we at, 178?
Mhm.
Okay, well let's kick this pig. All right. Live from La Cocina Studios, it's the 178th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Travis.
This is Chris.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. We very much appreciate it. We are kind of done with the whole WrestleMania thing, letting that kind of go away now. Everything's returning to normal a little bit, so we're going to be talking about Lucha and maybe a little ROH, maybe even some Japan stuff, kind of get back into the regular old groove of things here today.
Since we didn't even talk about Lucha last week, do you want to start with Lucha this week? I'm throwing you a curveball, Chris.
Oh,
I'm throwing you a curveball.
is that not what he put in his little
No,
notes?
it is not.
Oh, I see. Are you flexible?
Oh, yeah. I break plenty of bones trying to get in the right spot.
Or just get out of bed, whichever.
Flexible means you don't break your bones.
How did you watch Lucha this week?
I watched it on the telly.
How did you watch it this week?
Technically on the telly.
Technically.
Technically, I saw the main event match through El Rey on YouTube that they uploaded. And then through nefarious means, I was able to watch the first 10 minutes of it before those nefarious means became unavailable.
I thought you got a subscription or something to iTunes or something you're going to buy.
They're available on iTunes.
Yeah.
You know what, to be honest, the bleed over for WrestleMania weekend, I was wrestled out.
The hell you say?
I didn't even watch any wrestling until Raw on Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So it was like,
Yeah.
I need a break.
After SmackDown on Tuesday, I was like,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hey, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's your one time a year you get away with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to recharge the batteries.
Yeah, like, oh, so much, and then just get the hell out.
So like what, 6 hours of WrestleMania plus 3 hours?
7 hours of WrestleMania.
Okay, 7 hours of WrestleMania, 3 hours of Raw.
2 hours of Takeover.
Yeah. And then there was
3 hours of SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's up to 15 hours so far.
And that's all WWE.
Not including whatever else
Yeah.
shenanigans you got yourself into.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Oof.
Somebody in our message thread said that the opening match was a match of the week candidate. Who said that?
For Lucha?
Uh-huh.
That would be me.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speak on.
Defend yourself, sir.
Well, we have a Sexy Star,
You got my section already.
right?
Stop.
And Cobra Moon.
This is gonna be a
Did
fun.
you like that?
Yeah. It's gonna be a good episode.
There's no Kevin Dunn, but this was a match I wasn't really expecting much. Maybe because we don't get a lot of women matches, one-on-one women matches on Lucha. So it was a good showcase.
This is only like the second or third.
Something like that, yeah. But it was a good showcase to see a traditional female wrestling match on Lucha Underground. And they both have their own, obviously. Sexy Star is, she is who she is. And she can, she's really talented in the ring. And then Cobra Moon, we're still kind of getting used to her as far as her mannerisms and her moveset and whatever she does. She hisses a lot.
He says that like it's a bad thing.
Well, when the commentators are...
Hold on a second. Was it Sexy against Cobra or was it Eva Lise against Cobra?
Oh, shit, you're right.
What?
Yeah.
Because I remember
Wait,
Eva
what?
Lise was having that metal-looking pants.
Did we just fuck ourselves up with that?
Wait, who did Sexy
After
fight?
you and I said the sexy.
She came out
She was
with...
in the trios match. What? Or
No.
no, she came out after the trios.
Here's
match.
okay. right.
Yeah.
All right. Time.
Wrestled out.
Yes.
That goes on to it, but in my defense, I watched both episodes of Lucha back to back, so I am getting like
Crosshair.
Your
streams are getting crossed.
Yeah, I'm crossing my streams there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it hurts. It's painful.
Good.
So
Slimer knows.
let's just rewind back here for a second
What do you remember from last week's Lucha Underground then?
because we didn't talk
The
about
week previous?
Yeah.
Nothing. I know I watched it.
I'm sticking to
Dude, that
my
was such a long time ago.
I'm sticking to my guns because I still remember it. Pentagon Jr. against
Yes.
Matanza.
That's right. Yeah. Pentagon lost.
That was the one where he
Yeah.
set up, where he got Dario in the ring and he threatened to break his arm, and then Dario says, "Yes, you can have the match."
No, that was the week before, wasn't
That's
it?
what he said.
Yeah, we're talking about last week.
I know.
Remember
No,
last
but that was the week before that, wasn't it?
No, that happened. That was the
That
start
was
of
the same.
It was the same episode?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a setup for the following week's episode, but no, it was all the
No,
same
because the
episode.
second
Okay.
episode, or this week's, was Matanzo versus.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
So getting the right stream here. What do you remember from the week before that was
The week
drowned in
before?
WrestleMania sorrow?
Fuck, I'm having a hard time remembering this week, much less the week before.
Evil East against Cobra.
Great show today, guys. Okay, even these were.
We didn't bring our whole ass this week, apparently.
I
Between
guess
the three
so.
of us.
Yeah.
We'll combine and
Between the three of us, we still have a half an ass.
so we're on par with the rest of our show.
Yeah.
Hang on, listeners.
Given 100% every week, that turns out to about 15% today.
Maximum effort.
Man, this is like some Steiner math over here.
Yeah. We'll get to that
You
later.
want to get to it later? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Evil East
East
against
versus
Cobra
Cobra
Moon.
Moon.
Yeah.
Your match of the week candidate.
yes, even though I got the half of the participants wrong.
Fuck. Okay.
It'll be easy. It'll sound better on post tape when you can edit half.
He doesn't edit this
Oh,
shit, dude. He told me earlier. He put the intros on. He lets it rip.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Unless there's anything I know I need to edit out. You know, this might be one of those days. All right.
Yeah, there's easily 6 minutes out of this 7.5 you can get rid of.
Yeah.
B-roll. Do we ever do B-roll anymore?
No, that's why we have the YouTube. The YouTube catches the B-roll. That's special for our YouTube viewers.
Well,
You sure you don't want to just start over?
it's your call, bro.
We're good. Let's just roll with it. Come on, let's go. Let's get this text-
Cobra Moon, Evil
Evil
East.
East.
If you
I was
start
That's on you.
one
man.
more time. Do you want to restart?
No,
Okay.
dale.
You. Why is it your match of the week candidate?
There's a Mortal Kombat of women matches. I don't know. No, it was seriously. I mean, all kidding aside. Yeah, it was just a really good match. I remember being entertained by it and not losing interest. And it was good.
That's a criteria. Not losing interest.
That's coming from me.
Okay.
His standards are a little skewed. compared to ours.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all watch fucking anything with minute tights. So yeah, I was.
Or anything in the middle.
I was aroused in this match. Evil East, man, she got it going.
Yes, she
Yeah.
has.
But no, Evil East, she pulled out the win on that one.
I was surprised by that, to be honest.
This was Cobra Moon's first loss.
Yes.
You shouldn't really be surprised in Lucha Underground because you can never really can never predict what
Yeah.
happens in the matches.
Do you prefer women against men matches, or do you like now that we're watching more women versus women legit wrestling from Lucha?
Honestly, I don't really care. I don't have a preference between the two because I think Lucha does it well. That doesn't really matter, you know.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of like you're playing Mortal Kombat. If you got Sindel versus Sonya, it's no different than Sindel versus Sub-Zero. You know, it's still Mortal fucking Kombat. You know.
Sub-Zero's gonna whoop her ass.
Well, okay, Kano.
Okay.
nobody loses to Kano.
Kano's such a jobber.
He's definitely on SmackDown.
Famous Kano.
Shall we move on to Famous B because that's a transition there? Unless you're not done.
No, we can't. That's fine.
Well, I missed this part, so y'all rant on. You.
All right. So famous B, this motherfucker.
This motherfucker right here. You don't know what this guy did. He owes me mother.
He shows up in the actual back. You know, first time we've seen him backstage. He shows up in the back, and he starts talking to Mascarita Sagrada.
Oh God, it's gold.
And he is like trying to like pitch to him, like, "Hey man, I can make you famous.
I can make you huge."
Huge. Yes. Yes.
You forgot the biggest punchline.
Yeah,
biggest
I know.
punchline.
Yeah. See,
He's a midget. That's why we're
right. Yes.
For people who don't watch.
What I really
Little
liked
person,
about it.
excuse me. I hate to.
Yeah. What I really liked about it is that when he whipped out his card, the cinematic thing just kind of like stopped and made like a ding sound, like he just went ding with the card, and like it shined, and like he handed the card to Mascarita, and Mascarita just takes the card, kind of looks at it, looks at him, and then like he just shuffles on his way and like gets a little giddy up in the step.
Actually, before he leaves, he says, "Call me at 423," and it comes out on the screen.
It shows up on the screen. Yeah. Get fame. Fuck, man.
And that's what you wanted, right? You wanted famous be backstage selling, not in the ring action.
Pretty much, yeah. My first thing was I just want the commercials. Like that'd be funny to see like commercials every week. But it works. It's the same too. But the cinematic part of this, or our editing wise, they like he was talking to him. He spun around and started doing this little strut, walking away from him, and the camera panned, and they did a fade pretty much. There was like a wall, like the camera was in front of a wall. And he like went away through the wall, and then went into like another scene, another room. Yeah, another room. Yeah. And he was like walking away, and the Mac was coming in to the room, and he just kind of gave him a look, but he was walking in to do a scene with Sexy Star. Oh. So it was like it all transitioned.
Not even least.
Yes,
Sexy Star.
That'd be crazy.
Sexy Star.
He gets a little more erect every time he does it, I bet. By the end of this segment, he's gonna be sitting down with his legs wide open.
Oh, him?
Yeah, this one. You leave him. I mean, like, you're gonna beat.
Say more.
Oh Lord.
Segments. Apparently, there were a lot of them. We just went through a couple.
Okay. You want another segment?
Give me
a really good segment that I very much enjoyed.
You're building this up too much.
Oh yeah, probably.
It stinks.
One thing about season 1 that we really loved about Lucha Underground is all the origin stories, and I think we've only gotten one other origin story aside from this one that aired this past week. We got an origin story for Killshot, and I wasn't expecting it. And then there's Killshot. He starts talking, and then he starts talking about how he was in the military and he was a sniper. And he had 37 confirmed deaths. And he said, and they were all bad guys, or at least that's what they told me. You know? It gets better. He gets captured, right? Gets captured. And
no, because of all his kills, he gets promoted to an elite squad.
Yeah, an elite squad where he also got to do hand-to-hand combat. And
Black Ops.
Yes.
And they show him, like, it's so funny because they show him he's in a mask and he's wearing like the camo gear and body armor. And he's like walking around
worth of gear.
Yeah, he's like walking around with a gun. And he starts shooting off. He's like killing off these bad guys.
He's capping like all these fools. Like it's ridiculous.
GTA. Like they're showing him like killing people.
Yeah, more like Call of Duty style. But yeah, going like shooting all these dudes. And then he starts talking about getting captured. And
like his whole squad got captured.
Yeah, his whole squad got captured, and then he was the only one to escape. And he thinks that at some point maybe he'll see the rest of his squad, but now he just fights, in a different way. But
that's not a trios tag team.
Oh, that'd be fucking badass! I would love that. But yeah, we got a backstory from Killshot, and it's kind of different than all the other stuff that we've seen. We haven't seen a military dude. And of all people, Killshot. Okay, he's not like this Abraham-looking tall, buff dude. It's Killshot, a guy who looks like he could have actually been a kid in the military. So I like it. Makes sense, and it explains his name, Killshot, too. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. It's like it all ties in together.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Little package.
One thing I just thought about this in the 2 episodes that I saw. One thing that came back since Dario came back was the band.
Yeah,
It was the same band that we saw in Austin.
This week's episode was the same band that we saw. The one before that was a different band, but
yeah. But that week before was Robert Rodriguez's actual band, the band that he plays bass in, bass or guitar. Bass. Was he playing? Apparently, I don't know. They didn't really focus on it, but it was his band.
Oh, wow.
But this last week was the one that we saw in Austin, the ones with the lucha masks.
Yeah. But anyway, that was one thing as well. Was it the opening of the show where it had the office scene between Dario and Katrina?
Oh
no. Was it? No.
What?
Who?
What
the opening scene I was thinking was Joey Ryan that he got in.
That was the opening scene though.
No, that was after the first break.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of segments in this show.
No, the opening scene was him back there with Ian Hodgkinson.
Oh yes, Vampiro.
Yeah. Or you don't go by that anymore. Now you are just Vampiro.
Some of his lines, some of his delivery, it's really strong accent. I'm like, what do you say? And he's got a weird delivery on some of the stuff he says.
Yeah.
But, all the segments, man, they just played so well this week. There's another one I just thought of. The Rey Mysterio and Dragon Azteca Jr.
Yes. Oh, I love that segment.
Yeah, because before that even started, he was spray painting more question marks.
Yeah.
You didn't see this one.
Is Dragon painting the question marks or Rey?
We don't know.
But Rey had a Batman mask on.
Pretty much. He was in all black, had pretty much a Batman.
He had horns. He had Batman horns.
Yeah. I don't know if he's ears. Bat ears. Yeah.
We call them horns before.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So he was out there on top of the billboard, on top of the temple, and with Dragon Azteca. They were like talking, and Dragon Azteca was like, I want to get my revenge. And Rey's like, well, hold on. You're fighting for the clan. You need to fight for honor. Revenge will come later. And hey, we're going to be in the trios tournament. Okay, who's going to be our partner? Out comes Puma. So Puma, Rey, and Dragon, whatever.
Wow.
Azteca. That's
next week.
Well, I guess we know that they're going to be a team in the tournament. We just don't know.
My only thing was
the next week.
I loved it. At the same time, I was confused by it because, I get it that I like the fact that he was looking for revenge, and Rey had to rein him in.
Hey, you got your ass kicked.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it's not the Aztec way of revenge or whatever. And now you can avenge, but you can't seek revenge. But then I was like, how does being in a tag team tournament get you still to where you want to be? Because that's not going to get you to where because he wants to fight him. So,
yeah.
Rey's just trying not to get him to kill him.
Yeah.
So how does being a tag team match? It seems like it's diverting away from.
Well, maybe that's the point. Maybe Rey is just trying to get him more practice.
Okay, I'll buy that for
$1. Yeah. Lucha Underground has built up enough equity to where you could give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes. So. Continuity issues.
Trios match.
Yeah.
The Crew and Joey Ryan against the Moth, the Mac, and the Mariposa.
Yes.
How was that?
It was good. I felt as though they tried too hard to do what they did with Angelico Ivelisse and Son of Havoc.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it was, hey, they were underdogs because they didn't get along. So that was last year, and that was a success. So this year, we're going to have two teams like that and have face each other in the first round. Holy crap, it's going to be pandemonium. So we were waiting for that moment when, the unlikely team would work, and it didn't work so much for Mariposa, the Moth, and Mac, but it did kind of work for Joey Ryan and the Crew. But we kind of know why it's working for Joey Ryan and the Crew because of the whole undercover cop thing and this and that. So that was interesting and that was okay. It's just I felt like I wish that they were going up against another team that was just like a solidified team, But I don't mind Mac and Mariposa and Moth losing, which
builds more tension.
Yeah, builds more tension. Then with Sexy Star finally coming out afterwards and the B-Town going back and forth with Mariposa and all that.
What'd you think of the end of that backstage segment when talking earlier about Mac talking to Sexy Star in the back? And first she was just kind of barely lifting the weights.
Yeah.
And then after he kind of pep talks her into helping him out.
Yeah.
he walks away and she like the waves just starts like lifting.
Oh man, she starts clanging and banging,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Yeah, that was
clanging and banging.
and that was kind of cool. Yeah, I guess it just showed that she wanted to, really get at it. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much.
It just seemed like,
commentary
and we haven't talked about the main event yet. We can get going on this, but
Yeah,
there's just a
good.
lot of backstage stuff on this one. But the main event,
We've already gotten 3 matches now.
Okay.
Aztec Warfare, Pentagon Jr., and now Phoenix.
Yeah.
What's your deal with Matanza?
I love this guy as a wrestler. I like what he does. I like how he's not Mr. Flippy Dippy. He's not, the big guy who still is agile like Mac or Cage or Joe or any of these other new Apollo Crews, any of these other new big guys that still try to be fucking X Division stars. He's a big guy who's being a big guy who's doing things very impactfully.
it's very old school gimmicky.
Yeah, but I still
But
think
it works.
I think that there's enough of a twist where I don't want to just say he's out and out old school. Mil Muertes, I'll say he's out and out old school. This guy, he's kind of the new metal of big guys, if that kind of makes sense. I mean, he's still putting his own flavor, his own spin and twist, literally on moves. Where he does a power slam, but he like turns while he's doing it. The choke slam I mentioned last week, where he takes his opponent all the way to the ground and does a front bump with it. All that stuff, man.
So he does.
Fucking loving
He
it.
does subtle differences and nuances to his moves to
Yeah.
make him stand out a little bit more.
Exactly, and I love it. I fucking love it.
What about you? What do you think of Matanza 3 matches in?
I finally realized his mask reminds me of Kylo Ren.
It
It bugged me for like the first 2 weeks I saw it. I was like, what the fuck does that remind me of? It's probably it's fucking what that's what you get when you mix Kylo Ren with Jason Voorhees. That's what you get.
Add a little bit of Spanish tequila in there.
Yeah. Warm and all. Yeah. No, man, I kind of second what you were saying about him. I dig the well, I said it. I kind of dig the old school gimmick feel of it. Even with manager and all, he's got the match itself against Phoenix. It was Phoenix, right?
Yes, it was Phoenix. It was Phoenix this week. Yes. It was
You
Phoenix.
said something about it, Chris, about storytelling. Do tell.
God damn. I just drew a blank.
Oh
No.
well.
The 6 minutes, like it really put emphasis on how it's not gonna take what you already see of a guy in order to beat Matanza. Like Matanza's been around long enough. He's been in the shadows long enough. He's seen what everybody does. His emphasis on moves, like you were mentioning earlier during a couple weeks ago during the Aztec Warfare.
Yeah.
Was it a German suplex into the turnbuckles?
I think it was belly to belly, wasn't it? Overhead belly to belly.
Something. It was a release suplex. It wasn't.
It was something like that.
It wasn't
Yeah.
the exploder that we see in NXT
Right,
from
right.
Sami Zayn. It was something completely different. But it just looked like, oh my god.
That was against Phoenix. It was a German
It was a
suplex.
yeah.
A release,
Yeah.
right? Was it a release?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Stryker went on to say about it says all it is steel behind the turnbuckle. It's not.
It's just a ring that holds
Yeah.
it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The storytelling for me was actually after the match. Katrina
Yes.
comes out, and then Mil Muertes comes from behind, starts wallowing away on this dude,
Yeah.
and knocks him out of the ring.
knocks him out by just punching the fucker in the face.
Right in the face. And
That was-
he still lands on his feet. He's still standing, but Mil Muertes is in the ring. And then he turns around at Phoenix, and nothing. Like, he doesn't go beat it after all the history from season 1 and everything
Yeah.
that's gone on the last couple of weeks. Like, either it was Mil or Katrina wanting to do something with Phoenix and teasing it from other
Yeah.
episodes. Like, there's this menage between the three of respect that he just, like, even when he left the ring, he was still cold cock staring at him.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like, I'm going to kill you, but, like, just,
I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to kill you.
yeah.
It
And
was,
it's
it was more of an acknowledgement of presence,
Yeah.
I'd say.
That whole last bit, I liked, was enamored with it.
Yeah, because it does beg the question: did Mil not do anything to Phoenix because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or was it just that, hey, Katrina said that I can't beat you up for whatever reasons Katrina has, or was it that it's like, I'm just too tired to fuck with you? You know, like there was a couple of different ways that you could take it. You know?
I know how long is it going to take for me to hurt you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just go home.
I think it was more of a matter. I kind of took it as a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he knew,
respect.
like he knew what Phoenix can do, and he also knew the fight he just had, and he's like, he's still standing. So
yeah,
I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's times when we've been talking about, for example, this is how Brock should put Dean over. Sometimes it's not just necessarily the heel shakes the hand of the babyface. Sometimes that what happened on the air is all that you needed.
Yeah.
And it came across a whole lot better than what could have happened, say if it was another company that was doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
But as far as the match itself, yeah.
Is it a match with a candidate for you?
I'd say it's a candidate.
It's a candidate. Because
I don't know what
Phoenix got his ass whooped in that match, but he made it look believable.
It wasn't a squash match.
Yeah.
But he didn't get a lot of offense there. Like, he must have thrown like 18 super kicks and the dude was still on his feet.
Dude, there's that one section where they went outside the ring and he caught him and he like slammed him down onto the ground.
Yeah.
The crowd freaked out for that.
Yeah.
And then he went on top of him and started like punching him right in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was
like a tantrum almost.
Like, say that was his head. He was just like kind of wailing on him like that.
And Cueto on the ring, remember your mother.
Yeah.
And that's what he just went full Hulk on him.
Yeah. Okay, so we since we didn't talk about it last week, where does it stand, better or worse than last week's main event against Pentagon? Because that was a damn good match too. Pentagon guys, that's whooped too.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I like both, but I have the same problem with both. And this is kind of a weird problem I have, because I understand that you've got to make Matanza look strong, but at the same time, dude, you spent like a whole season and a half building up, Pentagon. You spent a whole season and a half building up Phoenix. Who can take this guy out? Who? Yeah. Like, the last line of defense would be what? Puma, Mysterio, and who?
That Dragon.
Mil. I guess Mil Mortis, himself. But damn, he just he raped everybody in Aztec Warfare. He just raped Pentagon, who we thought,
but the Aztec Warfare, come on, it's a clusterfuck.
But he still took out like 8 guys, one right after the other, alone. He looked very, very strong in that match. And he looked very, very strong against Pentagon. I'm not saying that's good. He looked very, very strong against Phoenix. Like, dude, who?
I think I have to edge it out to Pentagon for the simple fact that in Aztec Warfare, I already saw Phoenix get laid to waste by Matanza.
Okay.
Pentagon was, dude, I still don't want to say that he's a full-fledged face, but he got some babyface credentials by getting his arm busted up during that match and still continuing to fight. I know you're gonna kill me for this comparison. He's Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13.
You motherfucker! I was about to say that.
Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13.
I was gonna say he's Steve Austin from '97, which is the same thing.
Okay, go. Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it. You're usually the one that doesn't like these comparisons. Can you do it? Yeah, all right.
I don't know what's shocking about.
You must be listening to pop culture or something.
Oh yeah, I know. Some other
No, he's still being a heel, but he's getting reactions, and he's not changing his character for the sake of reactions.
Yeah,
he's still doing what he wants to do. And I think I'd probably give the edge over to the Pentagon match, only because I like how that one came about more than the way I like how Phoenix came about.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a setup for the Phoenix match at all, or was it just
no.
the Pentagon? He made sense because Dario came out to brag. Pentagon came out. He's like, "Look, your boy wouldn't even be there if I didn't take out Muertes or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "You're gonna give me the match tonight." And he's like, "No, I'm not." So that's when he threatened to break his arm.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, fine, you get it." So the whole match made sense for me to happen. And then just
Phoenix probably had number one rematch clause because he lost his belt at Aztec Warfare.
Yeah,
and he hadn't had his shot yet.
Yeah, or it didn't have something to do with the gift of the gods, right?
No.
No.
That's long gone.
Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, I'm not sure then. Yeah.
So, and then the match itself, I thought it was a little, I don't want to say more brutal or anything, but it was interesting to see Pentagon take the abuse he took in that match. The ripping of the Pentagon mask, that kind of like, was that for the sake of empathy for the crowd, or just to the fact that this is a guy that's been no fear and all this other stuff for the whole time, and he's been kind of built up as this big thing.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of humanizing him by ripping off the mask or trying to rip off the mask. I thought that was an interesting bit in the match. Because you normally don't do that to heels. You do that to a face.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if that leads credence to saying he is a face.
I don't. You know what? I don't want to say. I don't want to go out and call him a face because I don't want my opinion of him to change.
Yeah.
I don't want it to get ruined. I don't want it to get stifled. We've had this conversation before. And there's heels and faces, or is it everybody just Mortal Kombat and you play who you want to play?
Yeah.
Right. Well, what do you think about after the match when Vampiro got concerned for him and got out and went into the ring?
Yeah, kicked in the face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. That I can't explain. I don't know. Like they should have saved that. Like when Pentagon before the first Lucha Ultima Lucha, where they were building up, when he was building up on commentary who the master could be, he should have been building that up on commentary for weeks, and then have the backstage promo with Vampiro and the medicine, wondering if he's gonna take it, and have Dario like call him out on it, and build up to Matanza like offing him, damn near almost, and then have Pentagon come back and have the rematch, kind of. But again, they have enough equity.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that we wouldn't have booked. I mean, it's the shittiest show of shit.
Shittiest show of shit.
Yeah.
So you like the Pentagon match better? I think I kind of like the Pentagon match a little better. What do you think? Or do you remember?
No.
He has equal gripe with both.
Yeah, I do have equal gripe with both, but both are still pretty damn good. Just for the sake of being different.
But your gripe is about the booking.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It doesn't have anything to do with the actual match.
Yeah. No, you're very.
Here's
very
a valid gripe that we've had on this show for NXT and TNA.
I'll go with Pentagon. Fuck.
Taping shows in advance. We've talked smack about TNA to death, even though they refuse to die. And we've done it with NXT a few times.
Yeah.
They're taping episodes for 2017 already.
Yep.
Should we be complaining?
No.
Why?
Because unlike WWE, NXT, Lucha Underground does not have a concurrent running weekly live episode to go against it. That's
all they have is this taped episode.
That's why NXT gets the bad rap from us, is because of the taping schedule. Because you have like 4 weeks old of shit on the same time you're trying to run current stuff on Raw, and it doesn't sync up all the time, and you kind of forget about some of these guys. Whereas Lucha, that's their model, that's their strategy. Taping
it's like a TV show.
It is a TV show.
Yeah, TV shows are taped sometimes years in advance.
They just tape the I figured this out like watching these 2 episodes, especially this last week with all the backstage stuff. The wrestling aspect, they just record that. They get that out of the way, and they spend all their time on the production of the vignettes, the backstage, the storytelling. All that's the show. Yeah. The wrestling is just for the wrestling fans, because you could probably, I wonder if you could take out the wrestling matches, like how coherent would the storytelling actually be? Because only a few things play out in the ring.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a very interesting experiment to actually do. Because there is a lot of actual storytelling in the ring, but some of it is, just concentrated just within the match itself.
The only exception I can think of is the Vampiro Master storyline.
Yeah.
Because that culminated in the ring.
Well, stuff that having to do with the championships and all that. You have to, kind of care about what actually happens between the bells. But even then, all you really know is the result.
It's kind of like when you go on YouTube and for when a video game comes out, you just want to see the cinematics. And someone's gone on there just taking all the cinematics and spice them all together.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
What about you?
What
same
about
gripe? Do you have the same? Is it the same valid complaint with Lucha taping in advance as opposed to NXT?
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a very weird
I don't know
gesture.
what I'm doing with my hand.
Yeah.
Why?
Force a habit over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was.
I normally don't use both. I can fit it in one.
Okay. No, I don't think I have that same issue. But because I'm agreeing with Travis here, it's Lucha Underground is such a wildly different animal that
I forgive it.
I
It's part
forgive
of
it.
It's part of the
Yeah.
model. It's part of the design.
Yeah, it's more TV show than it is wrestling, even though I wouldn't say it's not wrestling. I mean, if I were to come on here and say, hey, this is just a TV show, then we should by no rights be talking about it on Houston Wrestling Radio. But it is enough wrestling that I feel perfectly comfortable wasting an hour talking about it on this show.
I would be more cautious to have that same gripe with ROH other than Lucha Underground. If that completes our Lucha talk, is there anything from ROH?
There you go. Yeah, Chris.
No, nobody wants ROH this week.
Wait, nobody?
Nobody.
Well, damn.
Well, if it's just a TV show and not a wrestling show, do you guys want to know who beats Matanza?
No.
No. No spoilers. That's the other thing. For some reason, Lucha Underground is better at keeping all their spoilers hush-hush.
Except for this one, on Lords of Pain, there was at least 2 or 3 articles I did not click on, but there's some kind of big spoiler on season 3, and I'm like, I don't know that. I figured you did.
I figured you would.
But don't.
Spoiler horror.
I'll forget by 2017. It's a year from now.
Well, real quick, news.
He couldn't remember if it was Sexy Star or Angelico. Or
No, he remembered. He was the one that remembered.
Oh, he wasn't.
Throughout this conversation, he
thought it was
said
fucking
who it
Campanella.
was.
What?
Y'all can figure that out. Dissect it like the ending of season 6 of Walking Dead. So,
there was a news rumor, I guess, that Ricochet might be coming to WWE, but the clause in his contract says he can't do anything. He can't go to WWE until after season 3 airs.
Ooh. Okay. So that
talking-
might be a while.
Yeah, you're talking 2017.
That means he's going to be spending a lot of time in the Performance Center.
nope. He's going to be spending a lot of time in New Japan. That's going to be a nice little transition. Invasion Attacker.
I knew it would be something.
Yeah.
Match of the week candidate. Almost my pick. Matt Sydal and Ricochet were the junior tag champions. They lost the belts to RPG Vice.
Really? It's a Roppongi Vice.
Damn good match.
This was aired on New Japan?
on the network. That I still watch, even though you were talking smack after January after Wrestle Kingdom. How much longer are you gonna keep
You did it with the real deal now.
My match.
That's right. A deal about reference in this episode.
Yeah. Wow. Who just liked it? But that would have been. And it's even better for the people on YouTube that got to see the gestures.
All 2 of you. You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
My match of the week pick. I hate to build this up, but you guys have the credentials. Y'all don't even have to pick it. Watch it. Will Ospreay against Kushida.
Who?
I heard about this match.
Ospreay?
Yeah, against Kushida.
He
wrestled
that to keep the mosquitoes away during summer, right?
Yeah, and sometimes fall, depending where.
Yeah.
He had a match last year against Okada in Britain, and Okada recommended him to join New Japan. So Ospreay is the newest member of Chaos, Okada's group.
Okay.
And his debut match was a title match against Kushida. It tore the fucking house down, and I'll tell you why. It the Japanese crowd, they're quiet. Mm-hmm. They're all watching, so you can hear the nuances that you want to see and hear. I'm not gonna screw that up. Ospreay does his handspring, kind of like Jay Lethal for his lethal injection.
Yeah.
3 minutes into the match, Kushida countered it and kicked his wrist, his arm, kicked it and knocked him out. The entire match was focused on that arm because that's the prelude to the hoverboard lock, Kushida's finisher.
Yeah.
Every time Ospreay got hit on that arm, he was screaming bloody murder. You can see it on his face. You can hear it echoing in the arena. Him agonizing, selling this shit to death. His facial expressions.
All right.
He tried to do the handstand spring off to do the elbow again, and he literally just fell on the floor. So what did he do? He tried it again by doing the handstand without using any hands.
Oh, like Kalisto.
No, Kalisto uses his hands and springboards off.
There's sometimes when he doesn't.
There is?
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed. Maybe
Well-
because it's Kalisto.
Uh,
Against Ryback, that's probably why.
yeah.
Well, Ospreay did it without his hands, just like
Yeah.
leaked into it. And
Where's
then,
my bag?
that was a really good back and forth match. The crowd was getting into it, and it was damn near flawless as far as for somebody that just debuted on New Japan. It looked like they had been wrestling each other. Like the charisma was there, the chemistry was there. It was a really fun match to watch.
So you mean there was storytelling and psychology in a match?
Yes, in
Who the thunk it?
a New Japan match. Where the
Awesome.
lightweights are normally just like they just fly around.
Although if he was selling it as hard as you were saying he was, it seems like overselling to me. Unless
Well,
you're
you'll have to see it to find out for yourself. That's my match of the week pick: Ospreay against Kushida.
Okay.
And
I had to believe you.
yeah, I'm sure you'll have to. I know you don't want to.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
G1 Climax. The dates were announced this year. It's the huge round robin tournament. 2 brackets. The last weekend, the winner of each bracket fights each other. The winner of that match, it's their Royal Rumble. They get the #1 contendership at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP Heavyweight title. Just to show you how big of a deal this is, they announced the dates. Let's see if y'all can keep up with this. July 18th, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 27th, 28th, 30, 31, August the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10, and then 12, 13, 14. 14 days of wrestling all over Japan. All 14 of those days are going to be aired on the New Japan Network. And assuming I'm still breathing and I still have internet access, I'll try to be posting updates on our HWR Facebook page of every single night.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
The
8.
Gil Bell already tapped out after 4.
Yeah, I can't do that many.
But yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, if you were wiped your ass out after WrestleMania and that was, like 2 or 3 days worth,
Yeah.
you're gonna go 14 with the climax.
How do you type that out for a podcast title?
Climax. Sexy star.
Oh, oh my.
G1.
It's not too late to start over.
No, it is. This is by far too late to start over.
Other than Cruz Sampson, the dark match that we had at TakeOver, NXT was just a recap show. I doubt any of y'all saw it. I didn't see it.
No, it was, once I found out that it was just recapping, I was like, I could
Oh,
take
I
an
mean,
hour
yeah,
off.
that's what I decided not to watch it because there's a clip show.
Yeah. Jerks.
The only big announcement, Nakamura's debuting next week.
This week.
Well, this week, basically.
Yeah. Cool. Great. I look forward to seeing Nakamura.
Nakamura's theme song, by the way, #1 on the iTunes soundtrack listing over the weekend.
I believe it. I fucking love his entrance music.
I
It's
need to listen
good.
to it again. I just haven't listened to it since the show.
I really dug the
love
electric violin. Like that was just so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You wanna take a-
What does that even mean?
I didn't know where to go with that. So.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, what do we got? WWE main roster stuff.
What else is left?
Is that it?
TNA?
Okay, good. Well,
Oh, yeah, let's break down 15 minutes of them moving into a warehouse.
oh, here we go. I guess
Yeah,
we have to take a
the
break.
fucking TNA headquarters are in their fucking warehouse where they sell merchandise. And
Where
you-
they store merchandise, not sell.
yeah, there's a big difference. There's a big fucking difference. And you, my friend,
Yes,
I
me.
told you, so
Yes.
we should talk about this. You're like, oh, this is a fake storyline. This is
Yeah.
bullshit.
I thought it was like a bullshit, like somebody trolling because they
From
showed-
the Onion?
No,
Yeah,
it's
something like
kayfabe.
Well, I didn't think it was kayfabe themselves because usually they're a little bit more clever. But but when I
You're not-
saw it,
You're not wrong.
when I saw it, and I was like, oh, just a picture of some ghetto ass warehouse. This is where they're moving to. I'm like, this sounds like a bullshit article. I thought it was bullshit.
My troll.
Yeah, I thought somebody was trolling. I didn't think it was real. But apparently, there's more sources out there that say that this is actually a thing.
Yeah, Dixie. she's talking about
Well,
yeah.
if Dixie said it, I guess you got to believe it, right?
Yeah, and
Depends
it's,
what end it came from.
Well, the Dixie end.
oh my.
Darling.
Tell it to Kevin Dunn.
Now you want to take a break?
Yeah, because there's nothing else we can say about TNA that they're just not proving themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, on that, let's take a break.
All right. When we come back, we'll have some other stuff to talk about from WWE. Hopefully, no more TNA. All right, ready? Break.
Oh, someone just dropped out too.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You YouTube people, you shouldn't have broken.
Yeah. We're right
Broken?
here. We're not-
Break it, did it?
The way this show's going, my friend, yeah, say whatever you think.
They're back! They're back!
Ah,
Two. See?
ah.
Yeah, two. Okay, well, now that you're back, now I'm going to go to back.
Or is that just Chris logging in? Make it feel
Oh,
better.
probably.
Dang, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
My job is not to make anybody feel better.
You do a good job, sir.
Thank you.
Make them feel worse.
Nah.
Did you, is that still going over there?
I paused it or stopped it. Ah! The nectar of the gods. I was actually going to stop at Walmart on the way home
No, you weren't.
today
No, you weren't.
and get some Kool-Aid so I can make it. I have a picture at home. I haven't used it in like months.
Yes, Chris is actually pouring a glass of Kool-Aid that I made because I know he's the only one that likes it. So
I'm telling you, man, he's living in the fifth ward. All this Kool-Aid and chicken breasts and Popeyes and Church's chicken. It's like, fuck. I might just wake up one morning with a criminal record. I don't know how it got there.
the police are knocking your door, sir.
Hands up, don't shoot. Please believe me.
This address makes you guilty. Just put your hands behind your back. Let's go. Make it easier for yourself.
Why you got us on the ground for? Well, there's 8 of us and one.
Quit resisting arrest. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to stop moving. Get your ass down.
I was doing nothing. I was doing nothing. I'm supposed to be help building the wall, remember?
Oh, you're going to build a wall, motherfucker.
If that didn't get us any new viewers, I don't know what will. I'm sure it won't be Abel's bald spot. Oh. Are you ready for this cruise, Travis?
Getting there. Oh, you're moving.
Oh, am I moving? Oh, okay, yeah.
Getting there. I got 48 hours.
Got your swimsuit?
Actually, 36. 36 hours.
You got your swimsuit?
Yeah. Got some board shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some flip flops. I got some t-shirts. I got some sunscreen. I need lots of sunscreen. Or else you will be seeing me on the news. Ginger balls all my cruise.
5'8" turd floating on the beach turns out to be a burnt ginger.
I just open the
That's
door.
what happens when you suck out the rest of their evil soul.
I just walk out to the deck. I burst into flames.
Oh, fuck. You know how to swim.
Sure. After I burst into flames, I'll jump off and yeah. Gonna get my shark or something.
Oh my god. You need to tell me what that's like, man. I've been wanting to go on a cruise for a long time. And then it would hit an iceberg.
Uh-huh. Hope something fun like that happens to me.
Oh man. Burnt, man. 55 hours a week for 3 months. Oh, it's finally catching up to me.
Sucker.
Well, shit, I got nothing better to do. We had a bar crawl. I was supposed to go to a bar crawl on Saturday. Wound up being over 3,000 tickets sold for that thing across 11 bars in Midtown.
You lost me a bar crawl.
Yeah. No, I was like, fuck that shit. I'm around people that I want to be with all the time at work. And then the customers.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I saved it, but I didn't.
Oh, you want me to close it out?
Just click on file, go to new, and then you can close out now.
Oh, wait.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There's some snowball? Okay. So I can close this one?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I'm going to try messing with Audacity myself in a few weeks on my computer when I get free time. I'm going to try to put the book on to audio.
Hey, viewers, make sure you wish Travis over here, old man Travis, a happy birthday. He turns 59.
God damn it.
He even got balloons. They're over there. I'll turn the camera, but I don't want to break it. I have that kind of luck.
Chris, you want to top off your Kool-Aid?
Yeah, Samantha.
Because this is going to be all she wrote. And that's the end of it. So for Travis's birthday, we finished off his Kool-Aid. Happy birthday, Travis.
I hate you guys. Actually, I'm kind of used to it by now.
Yeah. You're lucky we don't do this show twice a week.
Let's not bring your own goddamn groceries.
I offered.
I want to nickname one of y'all Kramer. I just don't know which one.
Well, I'm the one who just barges in.
You just got upgraded to Kramer. Or do you prefer Cosmo?
Oh, shit. Thankfully, I've never watched an episode of Seinfeld. I don't get any of these references.
Well, then you're disqualified anyway.
Yes. You guys ready for round 2?
Sure. Would he just be Greg from Dharma and Greg?
Sure.
Yeah.
Never saw an episode of that either.
Damn.
All right. Well, that's that. You no fun motherfucker.
Actually, with his luck, Costanza.
Really?
What's him?
The cop from Chips?
No, you dick. The short ball
It
guy.
took you a second to get because you're old enough that you would get that reference. Abel's like, yeah, I had Doritos for breakfast.
And lunch.
The fucking 20%'s killing me.
I'm very well aware of the California Highway Patrol, sir. All right, guys, and we are back. Thank you for sticking through the commercial break. We very much appreciate it.
Oh, you know.
Yes, we do. We appreciate every single one of you.
But you know what we really appreciate?
Most of the time, it's one.
What we really appreciate
Yeah?
is for everyone, all 2 of you, to go onto our iTunes page.
Ah.
If you like our show, and I think you do if you listen to it.
That wasn't supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, it was. Go onto our iTunes page and click on the rate review. Give us star ratings and give us a nice little review of what you think of the show. It makes the podcast go up on iTunes ratings.
Yeah.
And it helps us out. And it feeds our ego. We like to.
Yes.
We like to.
I'm tired of making fake iTunes accounts to try to boost our ego.
You're the 5 reviews we got.
There's like 8 iCloud addresses up there. And my dumbass gave us 1 star for all of them.
Nice. I thought one was the best.
I said Boo Earns.
So yeah, please go on there, do that, and say some nice things about us. Is there anywhere else where people can say or interact or do nice things for us?
Like us on Facebook.
The Facebook.
Follow us.
Follow us. Houston Wrestling Radio.
Follow us on Twitter.
At H Wrestling Radio.
There you go.
And you know what?
Do we still use Stitcher?
Yeah, we do use Stitcher,
But
so
you-
that's
you-
how you can listen to us.
But I think on Stitcher you just like thumb
Thumb up.
You
Just give it a
subscribe.
thumbs up.
You subscribe and thumbs up.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck Stitcher.
What I was going to say is that when we went to SmackDown last week, Randy took it upon herself to take a bunch of pictures and start uploading them to the HWR Instagram.
We have
So,
Instagram.
yeah, we have an Instagram that I don't use, but apparently Randy is using. So, yeah, we're going to try to get a little bit better about that. I gave the Instagram password and stuff to Bacon a long, long time ago. And she did a few things, but Bacon, I'm calling you out. Between you and Randy, I'm sure you two can do something on the Instagrams. Calling you out, Bacon.
Wow. What if we did something on Snapchat?
Snapchat? I guess we could do it.
I've never even messed with Snapchat before.
Yeah. Isn't that just for like dirty pictures and stuff?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, you just.
Well, we'll find out in a second if anybody likes this dirty video that I put on Snapchat. My Snapchat of us.
Yeah, send us pictures of your boobs, I guess. That's what the kids do, right?
They just squeeze them together to make them look big.
Yeah, they're like, damn, back at it again.
Abel's being modest. He wants to dick pics.
The ones I posted on my Tinder are getting a lot of good reviews. Kicked me off a Bumble though.
Wow, that's the biggest clit I've ever seen.
I shot it from the wrong angle. That was my crack.
Yes.
It was
angle.
not camel toe.
Yes.
Come on.
It's all about angle.
Hey, at least I keep it clean down there and trim.
Speaking of Raw,
Somebody's made a visit to the pretty kitty. Anyway.
I'm so disappointed that I know that right. Fucking Groupon.
yeah, what the fuck is up with Groupon and their sex toy fetish, man? Jesus, it's like they have a whole category of like dildos and shit.
No, what did we talk about last week? Quality, not quantity. You can only find quality deals on Groupon.
Wait, are they sponsored?
You can get a box of rocks from Amazon.
Box of rocks.
Speaking of a box of rocks, fucking Roman on the microphone. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not the good guy. I'm just killing the ratings.
You know, if you get the wrong shape of rocks, it could really hurt.
Yeah, because I got those in my body wash. They're supposed to call it something else, but it's really just rocks.
It's really rocks, yeah.
Yeah.
Exfoliate.
I think y'all are just buying the wrong things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I slide in and out of my clothes a whole lot easier.
I tell you one thing I ain't buying. It's Roman Reigns.
Thank
as
you.
champ.
Go.
That's a segue, my friend.
I am not buying
It's
that.
15 times.
And I busted 2 nuts during that segment.
Bust 2 nuts in the morning. Bust 2 nuts at night. All right, so Roman is Roman's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He's the guy. And
I'm getting hurt. I'm already getting tired of hearing
yeah, I'm
this.
tired of it because if you're going to try to make a catchphrase or a tagline, it has to be catchy. And this isn't catchy. This is just WWE trying to force the acknowledgement of the fact that people are booing the shit out of your champion who's supposed to be a babyface. You know, that's all it is. It's like it doesn't sound catchy. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's not fluid and just kind of came up with it on the fly. It's not organic. It's just like, this guy's getting booed everywhere we go. And it's right after WrestleMania. We just gave him the title belt. We'll just say that, they can cheer for whoever they want. And we'll have him go out and say, well, I'm not the good guy. You don't have to cheer for me, making it okay. No, this is all bullshit.
Wait, what is it?
Bullshit.
Blue shit? Next thing.
All right, then. Finish the sentence. I'm not the good guy. I'm not the bad guy. Blank.
I suck. And this is coming from the guy who has said multiple times on this show, I want to like Roman Reigns.
I'm not the good guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm blank.
What? I can't follow that. That sums it up perfectly.
Is that an answer HWR for this week?
Sure, throw it up there. Answer HWR.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I am fill in the blank.
I got nothing.
Shit, man.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, Dick.
Here's an easy one. I'm Roman Reigns.
Uh,
It doesn't sound fucking forced. It just sounds like something that's appealed to like 4-year-old Make-A-Wish kids. Like, do they not realize that the adults are the ones that are bringing the kids to the show, and the adults are the ones that have to sit through a lot of the stuff that they don't like? At least try to make
They
this
don't
stuff.
care.
You think so? Every reaction that he's gotten every single week on Raw, even on SmackDown, when they try to pipe in the crowd noise, you can still hear it.
Well, hold on. With SmackDown, remember, Chris, we were there. And with SmackDown, he did not get booed as hard as he did in Dallas, nor did he get booed as hard as he did in Los Angeles. Why? Because they were in Houston. And unfortunately, we are a town, wrestling-wise, that's more about the kids. The Hispanic families bringing their niños to see the lucha, you know.
Yeah, because all,
they
the
don't know any better.
all the Mexicans at Home Depot I talked to that night of SmackDown were dying to take their kids to see Roman Reigns.
Honestly, when they were there, when we were there, Chris.
I know. I hate to admit it. But
I know you hate to
that's why
admit
we're
it,
not talking about SmackDown on this show.
But they were not booing Roman. There was a few of us that were, but we were drowned out.
I was just tired.
Well, yeah, there may be some of that too, but for the most part, it was like families and kids and people, and they were all cheering for him.
Idiots. Yeah.
Well,
So who did we get out of that Roman Reigns promo? Who came out first?
I don't remember.
We talked about this with the
League of Nations.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's how memorable they are.
I see.
League of
Yeah.
Nations.
League of Nations.
The remaining members
Right.
of League of Nations.
Sans Bad News Barrett.
They're weakly. You can't say that with a straight face. Because they're all just weak.
I don't even know if they're links. No,
Which is string to me.
yeah. And what's sad about that is that I don't mind Rusev, and I don't mind Sheamus. I just really don't like Del Rio. You know, I don't know, man. Like, I want to see them all separate.
Well, them coming out, they're pretty much just talking smack to Roman Reigns. And Reigns is like, okay, we'll just come on and let's do this, whatever. So they come in, and then lights go out, and then you have the Wyatts intervene and start taking out League of Nations.
Yeah. Why?
Did they start something before
Last week's Raw.
Well,
last week? What did they do?
even then, why? We have no reasoning as to what the fuck the Wyatts are actually doing with whoever.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of like attack people just because, like, they tried to pick a fight with The Rock and got their ass whooped, and like, okay, there was no anything before or anything after. You know, now they attack Roman, but now they're attacking the League of Nations, and well, like, it doesn't make sense. They just attack people for no reason.
Isn't that sum up the Wyatts for the last 2 years of booking?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Here's my thing. What I saw, and I think I said this on last week's episode. I'm going to echo myself on this one, and this is going to tie into the Wyatts also. I think we are getting a heelish Roman Reigns. I think we're going that route, and it's not going to be the same as turn Cena heel. It's not like that. I'm just saying I think his mannerisms, the way he's speaking, just everything about him, it's just screaming, I'm going heel.
Okay.
And with the Wyatts, I don't know if y'all noticed on Raw, but they were getting face reactions.
Oh,
What else are you going to do with them other than turn them face?
That was the first time I was ever interested in Bray Wyatt in the past year.
Really?
Like, I actually did not change the channel. I did not make any grunting noises. I wasn't complaining.
What are you talking about during
During the match.
The match.
Bray
okay.
actually getting a hot tag and finishing off the match. I was actually pleasantly surprised. Like, I would have never pictured a face Bray Wyatt, and even with the booking, I think, you know how Edge and Christian kind of made the New Day acceptable in some like Stockholm syndrome way. I think The Rock made the Wyatts okay.
Really?
The reaction that the Wyatts got at WrestleMania when The Rock was pointing out how Bray has everybody in the palm of his hand, and he's a great wrestler and he's a great charisma. He's the total package. That was The Rock. That was The Rock's version of Edge and Christian with the New Day.
That was what The Rock couldn't do for Roman Reigns.
And how about that? Like, what? You know, flesh and blood. You can't get him over, but the guy that looks like the hobo I just gave half my pizza to, he's the guy that's getting over like banana boats.
Well, look, I mean, no, okay, seriously, like, go back and look. Even though Bray's been a heel, how many times have people cheer for him, sung along with his music?
Yeah.
The Fireflies.
The phone things, the Fireflies, everything about him is face reactions. It's just his feuds haven't been going anywhere because he's been a heel.
Yeah.
And heels have to get their comeuppance, and he never wins.
Honestly, last night I don't think it was WWE saying, "Hey, we're going to turn these guys face," and no. I think Los Angeles was a rowdy enough crowd and a smarky enough crowd where they were cheering Bray because he was not Roman. Like, you could have put anybody there, and they would have been cheered more.
I saw it as them going against League of Nations. That's why they were getting cheered.
Well, cheering, they were booing League of Nations and Roman. So anybody else that was in that spot, they would have gotten a face reaction. I don't think it means that the Wyatt family are turning faces and that they are a face or whatever. No, I think it was just for that night, they were the anti-Roman.
My thing is, I think it's a double turn in a way. We're getting more of Oh, first of all, full disclaimer: my DVR cut off at the end, so I didn't see everything that happened at the end of the match. But everything I saw up into that from the start of the show there, I'm still seeing a continuation of what I'm thinking is happening with Roman, and then also I think this is a turn for the Wyatts.
And this is the other problem that I've been having for almost years with this company. We're feeling the residuals of it now. It's the crowd. You can't go to these mark-heavy crowds that boo Roman and not have the epiphany that eventually casual fans are going to look at a crowd booing Roman and assume he's the bad guy and just start booing him also. Like there has to be a clear-cut definition on a guy that you're putting that much stock in. Is he a good guy or a bad guy? And like openly acknowledge it. Not do like a stupid catchphrase that you can repeat for the next 19 years. Like every promo, Cena was different, acknowledging that there were people that liked him and there were people that booed him. And even like after the matches where he would go up to fans in the front row that had the anti-Cena shirt that he would pose with them. And that's how people slowly started winning some people over. But he would acknowledge it, not just like play it off or brush it off or ignore it. That's what's happening right now with Roman. Like they're not making a clear-cut decision on what he is or what he isn't. Yeah. And it's really confusing, at least to me.
And I think that goes along with my theory of what they're doing with him. I think they are turning him. And to your point, when Cena would get booed out of the fucking building and he would acknowledge that, like calmly and confidently, that's the difference. He had confidence.
Yeah.
You see Roman Reigns with those reactions, those crowd reactions, like he gets
lost sometimes.
Yeah, he does. And I think that's the big difference between him and someone like John Cena.
Yeah. Now, see, you're talking about the actual reactions that Cena and Roman themselves have. I think that with creative and with booking, it's the exact opposite. Because for years, creative and booking and whoever would not acknowledge that Cena was getting booed. They still booked him as the super baby face, as though everybody was cheering him. And that added fuel to the fire for people that were frustrated with Cena. People would boo the shit out of him because WWE would market him as not somebody who ever got booed. But with Roman, I think they're trying to correct the mistakes that they made with Cena. They're allowing Roman to be not the bad guy, not the good guy. They're trying to make him be that kind of tweener thing and let everybody else decide what he is and kind of roll with it. So that's what I think they're doing. But I agree with Chris as to what Roman's doing. There's a disconnect there on both Roman and Cena.
I want to agree with you on that. However, the Raw after WrestleMania, dude, I'm telling you, Roman coming out for his little promo or whatever it was that he came out to that reaction. Besides the boo reactions, I mean, the way he was walking, the way he was being cocky with the belt, everything that wasn't just going with the crowd. That was him being a heelish character. And when all those other characters came into the ring, when you had the faces of AJ and Sami Zayn, him like just brushing them off, like,
yeah,
dude, that's not just being reactionary. That's being that fucking heel.
Yeah, he was doing very heely things.
Yeah, and that's my point. But anyway, we didn't talk about the reason that match came about for the main event.
Right.
The match came about because we had Shane McMahon come back out the second week in a row as GM or whatever.
Guy in charge, whatever.
Yeah, because stipulations, fuck him. There was he did his first Teddy Long. Hey, hold on a second, players.
Yes, he did.
That first time of many, I'm sure.
Which, you know what, I kind of liked it because it was
a certain authority.
Well, yeah, a certain authority. I mean, in this very, very one specific thing in the booking of this match. What I liked was, he pretty much said, "Hey, I'm going to be self-indulgent here because I just kind of want to see this. So fuck it, I'm just going to book it and be self-indulgent."
Mm-hmm.
And like that was fine. You've never seen an authority figure say that,
or not a face,
heel, whatever. No. The heel ones. They undercover are self-indulgent. They say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna do this, but I have reasons." Da 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 da. Here it was like, I kind of want to see this match, so I'm gonna book it because I think it'd be interesting. That was the little twist that I liked about it. But regarding Shane altogether,
yeah,
I hate it.
Really?
Not because I don't want to see Shane. I do. I really do. And I like the idea of him being in charge. I just hate the way that continuity-wise they got there.
WrestleMania was a complete waste of time.
WrestleMania was a waste of time, and it doesn't make sense within the storyline, within the structure of who the characters are that led to this. Vince said, I'm disowning you as a son. I don't want you around. You're not fit to run my company. And then the week after you lose everything, yeah, sure, try it. Why not? You're probably going to suck at it. And then the week after that, well, there was a lot of extra few tweets on Twitter, so the hell, let's just give it to him again anyway. What? Really? That's all it took? An extra couple set of tweets? Because Lord knows he wasn't fucking trending. Lord knows he wasn't setting the world on fire on Facebook and Instagram and all this shit. We didn't see anything extra because Shane was in charge last week. It was just like your regular, run-of-the-mill half-ass trend with him. And then WWE comes and says, due to overwhelming demand. There was no motherfucking overwhelming demand. But due to overwhelming demand, he's in charge now. What? Get the fuck out of here. That shit did not happen.
You finished?
No, I'm finished. I hurt my hand again on the bell.
Well, I'll say something here about Shane. Continuity issues aside, and by the way, I did read online. A couple of people pointed out.
Yeah.
When Vince announced the match.
Yeah.
All he said was one match, one night.
Right.
Did he say he had to win?
Yes.
He said he had to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw that. I saw somebody. I think they even said it on on reaction to one of our things that we posted on our Facebook page. Somebody bringing up that conspiracy theory. No, he said you had to win.
Okay, right,
he said you had to win.
Okay, so continuity issues aside, I enjoyed this Raw overall more than last week's Raw, and one of the reasons was it felt like a more cohesive episode. The stuff with Shane, again, continuity issues aside, I thought Shane did a really good job. He felt like an authority figure on the show.
He did a way better job
Yes.
this week than he did last week. Why? Because the same complaint I had last week. If you're going to be an authority figure trying to make a splash, trying to make a name for yourself to show, hey, I did this and I made this show great, you need to be out there booking matches. And that's what he did this past week.
Right.
So that was great.
That's why I was kind of surprised when you said you hated it. Because I was like, well, I enjoyed it. And it corrected the wrongs from the week before.
I don't hate the fact that he's out there doing it and the way he's doing it. I love the way he's doing it. It's just I hate how we got there. How we got there doesn't make any fucking sense.
I think this is going to be one of those things where WWE's just kind of, they're going to try to just shoot under the rug. Yeah. And
which just sucks. I mean, why do we have to forgive him for that? We talk about Lucha Underground where there's things where, they have enough good equity built up where we can forgive them for minor things in continuity. But here, WWE has had continuity issues up the wazoo for years.
Okay.
Why can't I not nail him to the wall for this?
Okay. Does it matter if it's for the betterment of the show?
Okay.
Because this week's episode was better.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris? Shame of
You
man.
open the show with Cesaro against Kevin Owens. Okay. Match of the week candidate.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, match of the week candidate for me as well.
I love the Minitron thing for Cesaro, the James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
The little
the bullet, the
aperture of a camera
scope.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the inside of the barrel.
Scope. Okay, yeah, that's better.
The barrel.
I was out here talking about apertures.
Okay.
You've never fired a gun, huh?
Actually, I have.
The zapper from the Nintendo console.
No, I fired bullets.
Yeah.
BB.
No,
So
38.
Those count.
Oh, the shit! I fired a gun too.
Sure, I have one. So what'd you think of the match?
Fucking Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. I mean, you can't go wrong with them two. Cesaro must be a good actor because he made me think that he fucked up the shoulder again. But,
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not.
It might just be a small time wrestling doctor.
But and I've seen this for many years and just not just wrestling but MMA and also in other sports.
You don't watch it.
The tape, like the
athletic tape.
Does that really do anything? Like, what does that do?
It does.
What is
I've worn it. It's kind of like icy hot. but in like longer strip form. So it keeps this warm. So when you're moving around
So
a
there's
lot,
a chemical thing to it.
yeah.
Oh.
So when you're moving around a lot, it gives you warmth, so it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Because I just see like they have it like on, like the way they have it like on their shoulders and stuff. It's just like a weird, like they got a pattern and shit, and like
they're pussies. They couldn't get tattoos, so they're gonna put tape, and they can take it off in a week and do another design next week.
I know. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just ignorant. I didn't know what that did for the.
If Cesaro comes out next week looking like Spider-Man 2099, yeah, there's no good questions.
But to his point, he played the injury well. I mean, because he couldn't do the swing.
Right.
Fortunately, he used his other arm for the uppercuts.
Oh yeah.
But this dude,
that Psycho Crusher in slow motion.
Dude, the end of that match, I jumped because I got scared for Cesaro when he landed on his head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the very end. Oh,
when he was supposed to like land on his feet, but he landed on his head and his feet.
Yeah. He bounced right back, and they continued the thing. That was scary for a second, though.
Well, hell, the commentary said that he wrestled for 3 weeks with a bad shoulder before he realized he was hurt. We'll find out come some SummerSlam. Oh, he's paralyzed. He just kept moving.
That's how fast he is, right?
Yeah.
And then we got AJ versus Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Speak on.
I liked it.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, there you go. It's AJ versus Sami Zayn. The only thing that, and I don't know if this is a bad thing or a good thing, the ending. And this is kind of like the same thing as WrestleMania. The person that won was the least interesting person to actually win. Like if Sami had won, Sami would have been in the match as a triple threat, so he would have won all this and that. Like, okay, cool. So Sami wins, you have the more interesting outcome because it affects and it changes things. Mm-hmm. But that's not what happened. AJ won. So what happens? What changes? Nothing. Everything's still the same as it was going into the match. So you're going to have AJ versus Roman, and that's it. So going into it, AJ versus Roman, coming out of it, AJ versus Roman, no change.
Did you know what was going to happen when the match started?
What
did you predict?
No, my prediction was that Sami was going to win. It's going to make it that triple threat. Why else have the damn stipulation? So that's what I said. I don't know how I feel because on the one hand, I see where you're going with this, Travis. On the one hand, it's not what was predictable. You know, it's not what you expected.
We praised Lucha for that.
Yeah, exactly. So on the one hand, okay, well, I didn't predict it. But on the other hand, it's like, well,
we already had we had a decent main event right there with Roman Reigns and AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you threw in anybody else in that match, it would take away something from somebody.
Okay, yeah.
And I think for the first big title defense for Roman Reigns, you need a one-on-one match.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
I'm out for a different rebuttal for you.
Okay.
I'm glad Sami Zayn is nowhere near this.
Why?
How many big ones has Sami Zayn ever won?
Not enough.
One. And that was when he won the title and lost it a month later.
Yep.
And maybe his debut against Cesaro. That's it. Like, the underdog is, like, still in the underground because he never wins shit. So I walked
this match.
I walked into this match already assuming AJ was going to win.
Okay.
And I'm glad he did because if Sami Zayn would have somehow gotten into this match, then I would have already, by process of elimination, crossed Sami Zayn out of the entire prediction entirely.
Or you mean AJ?
No, I wouldn't have predicted Sami Zayn at all in this to win that match.
Okay.
The title match at Payback because he doesn't win shit.
Mm.
So it didn't matter to me that Sami Zayn lost the match. I'm glad I saw the match that we saw, but I feel like Sami Zayn lost something by being on the main roster now. Because ever since they botched the entire return from the Rumble, Sami Zayn came back on the Rumble. There's unfinished business with Kevin Owens. What do we get for WrestleMania? 8-man ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're purposely, maybe not purposely, they're just accidentally just knowing what the fuck they're doing. They're like, they know they have this big feud ready to go. It's built in, ready. It's Owens and Zayn, but they're like going all different twists and turns to get to it.
Exhibit B. Kevin Owens is threatening to screw Sami Zayn out of his match.
Right.
Shane McMahon throws him out. I was expecting the surprise for me. I was expecting Kevin Owens to go in there and fuck it up. The fact that AJ beat Sammy clean, that was the unexpected part that I got. That even I was happy with.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad it ended like that. And the same idea you had when AJ and Jericho first wrestled on Raw the first time. They held so much back that if we see a match later on, holy shit, somebody's gonna get style clashed the fuck out. Or oh man, the calf killer on Sami Zayn's gonna be brutal. Or man, Sami Zayn doing the freaking the running kick, AJ Styles' head's gonna fall off.
Yeah.
There's so much that they didn't give us in that match.
That's true.
I'm waiting. I'm there now. How you were with Styles Jericho the first time. You want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Later. Not burn it out in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
To the point where we're sick of that shit, like we were sick of Jericho.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the match and just think about, man, this is the first time ever we're getting AJ versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it for what it was.
Okay.
I did too.
And
Match of the week?
yeah, well, candidate for sure.
Okay.
I kind of piggyback on what you just said earlier about the whole thinking that Owens was going to do something. I was thinking that Owens was going to have an issue with him being in that match, and he was going to come out and he's going to cause him to lose, and that would continue their storyline. That's another reason he lost.
They didn't even do that.
But here's the thing, though. They thought about that to the point where they had Shane come up to him and said, "You're not going to screw this kid again. I'm escorting you out. I love when he said, go to your locker. Get your things from your locker." I love that little locker bit because you don't see
Added realism.
like a locker room vibe anymore.
Yeah.
Remember back in the 80s, 90s, they had locker rooms?
Now they just have backstage areas
Yeah.
where Renee Young doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a bit of refreshing. And that goes along with part of the overall flow of the show that I just enjoyed. There's another thing I'm going to talk about the show just overall after we get talking about other things. But that was the big thing. That was a big match. Two internet darlings going at
Well,
it.
4 internet darlings between Cesaro and Owens.
You're right.
And then AJ and Zayn.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to top that. And then again, we got Machine Gun Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Yes, they made their debut, quote unquote, by attacking the Usos after the Usos. Did they win that match?
Yes.
Yeah, they won the match in the Bootios tournament.
Sponsored by a fictitious cereal
Yes.
that looks real on the graphic when this falls out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we skipped over the part that Shane McMahon announced a tag team tournament for the number one contenders.
Which is great. I love it. I love
Tournaments.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good tournament?
Climax.
Ding.
The New Day's promo bit, putting it over.
Yeah, that's good.
Too.
They said something about their brackets, their booty brackets, or whatever. So they get their own brackets. I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
March Sadness.
Yeah.
All right. So on to machine guns. Or the machine guns. Wait, no, they're not the machine guns. One of them is a machine gun. The other one's not.
Anderson and Gallows.
Yeah, there you go. Those guys.
I gotta say one thing though.
Do you?
I made a mistake.
You got a beef?
Oh yeah, humble pie. There you go.
I'm getting to that. First of all,
He's got to warm up to it.
thank you, Bacon, for spoiling the debut on Facebook for me.
Oh, I appreciate that. This is the second time Bacon's getting called out on the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
that explains her fucked up ankle. You did something, didn't you?
Oh, that was before all that.
Oh really?
I have nothing to do with that. I'm innocent, I tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found out about the debut. So and actually, I found out she posted that before I got to even the AJ's backstage exchange with Sami Zayn, talking about he's the only number one contender and I'm going to keep it like that. I was thinking, oh shit, they're going to come out. That's when they're going to debut is during that match. But they went a totally different route. And after the Usos won their match against I can't remember what they fought.
I can't either.
Don't look at me.
The social outcasts.
Oh yeah.
Because they started celebrating before the match even ended. It's fucking stupid shit.
It's a bow train. Choo choo, motherfuckers.
So anyway, they won their match, and then we see two dudes jump the rail and beat them down. Short and sweet, beat them down.
And you wonder why motherfucking fans think it's okay to jump the rail.
It's well here. Okay,
If there's fans that are arrogant enough that they think they can beat up the Usos, fuck it. I don't care about the Usos. Jump the rail. Give it a shot. See how far it gets you.
or Braun Strowman, whichever.
Yeah.
Stab Dean Ambrose with a pen. If you want to do it, go for it. Give me a stab back.
He's been stabbed with something bigger before.
Oh my.
No, actually, Renee is.
Oh
my. Yeah. You mentioned this a few minutes ago. I did say that to you guys last night. I said, okay, on the show, I'm gonna have to eat some humble pie.
Why is that?
Because I said this before on the show. It was like everybody's like coming over the Bullet Club, showing up on WWE, and I'm just thinking, are they that big? I mean, like, I can appreciate and respect what they've done in Japan, in the Bullet Club. I understand that. I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't see how that translates into a big-time WWE debut with no previous mentions or anything else. At the very least, NXT has the commentators at least been mentioning Bullet Club. They've been mentioning that Finn Balor's got his friends.
Yeah.
In WWE, it's just these two dudes coming out. Like I don't know where they're going with that, and I don't know if it's going to pay off as great as everybody on the internet is flipping out over.
Oh, it's gonna. Oh yeah,
You're one of them.
I already see it now. Here's what's gonna happen: Payback. AJ Styles, Reigns. They're both laid out. Here comes Anderson and Gallows to help Roman Reigns. They're gonna turn on AJ. No internet mark is gonna see that coming, and Roman Reigns is gonna be a full-fledged heel with his.
That's fine and dandy and all, but how do you get to that point when we don't even know who these fuckers are? Mainstream audience.
Mainstream. What NXT does, it's for the indie fans.
Right.
So you watch the show, that's enough. WWE, the main brand, they have Facebook, they have Twitter, they have Instagram, they have Tout. They've been teasing this shit for months. Even the AJ stuff. They themselves have been teasing it even on their own website for months that of these guys. And we're wondering, hey, well, why the fuck are they doing a top 5 of AJ moments in WWE before he was even a star? They have been doing it. We don't see it because we're too busy complaining about all the other shit they put on their program. But they have been doing it. And the fact that the JBL put over that they've been a big success in Japan, that's all they need to say to give the people watching at home credibility that these two are a big deal.
I'm not saying I'm not saying they're trying to give him credibility in what the commentators did to put him over on that one spot. I'm just talking about it gets a fine line between doing something for the IWC and the marks as opposed to general audiences. There's a big difference. In the IWC and all of us, we're but a portion of the overall general audience that is Raw and SmackDown and WWE just in general.
On that program, don't you think that in the last couple of months they've been the very loud minority?
For WrestleMania season? Yeah, but that's just WrestleMania season. Maybe if this happened last week and we had a better and it was more of that.
I don't know if it's WrestleMania season, man, because it's the crowds in Brooklyn, the crowds in Pittsburgh, the crowds in Miami, the crowds in Dallas, the crowd in Los Angeles, the crowds in New York City, the crowds
in Marktowns, dude.
Yeah, and they've been and that's been going on even before WrestleMania season, and it's still going on. I agree. I'll give you this: if they aired this in Corpus Christi, they would not have gotten that reaction. If they taped this episode in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, they would not have gotten this reaction. If they would have taped this in Japan, we wouldn't be able to hear anything right now. We'd be deaf. Same thing if this was in London. Same thing if this was in New York City.
What if it was in Houston?
Oh shit! No, we wouldn't have gotten that reaction. I doubt not even.
That's my fucking point.
Then why are they booking these crowds and why are they booking these shows weekly live when they can't edit on these towns where they know they're going to get that kind of reaction? It's fucking up.
Because they're playing to the crowd. They're playing to that. But how does say you have we'll say fucking Brooklyn, you're in there, or another big Marktown, whatever, and you're doing that. You know you're going to be there, so yeah, you're going to have a big internet darling superstar debut or whatever the case may be, somewhere that only the IWC knows. Yeah, you're going to debut them there because you know you're going to get a reaction. What happens next week when you're in Houston? Or what happens next week when you're in another town? So you're going to base the whole thing just on the first week. Does that make any sense? I mean, like, I don't see where this, again, this goes back to what I was saying. Like, how do you appease both the IWC and the general audience?
I'll tell you how you appease them.
Go for it.
The way I see exactly what you're saying.
I do too.
I understand what you're getting at, but I don't think it's something without remedy. And here's the remedy. It's exactly what the fuck JBL and Cole were doing last night. They were putting them over hard. They didn't just say like Chris, and Chris just kind of like glazed over it where, oh, all you got to do is just say that they're IWGP, like, and that's it. No, they put over the fact that these guys were there. They won the titles. They were a big deal. We've been hearing rumors for weeks. Like, during that entire thing, they were going on and on and on and on saying this is what's going on. So that general audience that doesn't know what the fuck's going on is getting educated and clued in as to why we should give a fuck about these guys.
But is it going to work?
It needs to. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it won't, but it needs to. That's what they need to do. And last night, they did it well because I was in the same way because I have the exact same viewpoint on Corbin and Apollo Crews, where I'm erasing everything I know from NXT, and I'm just looking at them from what I see during the last couple of weeks on Raw and SmackDown. So far, I'm okay with them. If I erase everything that I know about them from New Japan or from the Indies, Bullet Club, and all that shit, to me, they're just two guys who jumped the rail. Who the fuck are they? Well, it's somebody that Cole and JBO were freaking the fuck out over and saying, hey, these guys are important because of this and this. We heard rumors that they were going to show up because of this and this. And this is a big fucking deal. So if they continue to make them a big fucking deal, then eventually they're going to be a big fucking deal. Not just to us marks who know, what they are and all this and that, but to the regular general audience. Now, here is a completely different set of complaints that I do have about it.
By the way, next week Raw is in London. So what kind of reaction do you think these guys are going to be getting?
They're going to get that reaction, and that's going to be seen on a worldwide audience via the telly. But here's my problem. You just started a tag team tournament to determine a new number one contender.
Right.
And you're already 2 matches deep into the first round, and you had these guys come out and beat up somebody after they won the match. Why not have the Bullet Club, or whatever we're going to wind up calling these guys, why not have them beat up the fucking social outcasts, get their ass out of the tournament, and then all of a sudden Shane's like, okay, fine. Why don't you get into the tournament, see what you got? And then stick them in the tournament. Boom, there's a debut for you. This, like, after this and that, beating up the people who are still in the tournament anyway, so you know they're not going to have a match next week on Raw because they're due up to go further down in the tournament, against the Usos. So that kind of leaves Anderson and Gallows just kind of sitting there with their thumbs up their asses for the next 2 or 3 weeks until the Usos are done with the tournament, unless they attack them again and cause them a tournament. Okay, great. So, like, I don't know. It's just all wonky. Like, if you're going to start this tournament and then you're going to have outsiders come in and try to, like, fuck it up, well, good. If you have a plan, if you have a way to, like, squeeze them in there. But right now, the way that they have it set up, it doesn't even look like they're going to squeeze them in.
They basically just set up the fact that they're heels because they go over they beat the hell out of the team that all the kids are buying their merch and painting their faces like.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have had a position solidified if they beat up the outcasts.
Right.
Because there's people on the fence either way for them.
If they beat up the outcasts before, then they jumped into the tournament against the Usos, and then they beat the Usos. Holy shit, that would have been a fucking crazy debut.
And that's a whole lot of ifs.
Yeah.
There was, goddamn, there was just one other thing I wanted to say about this.
I'm sorry.
And hold on, give me a second.
Right.
If the commentators were going all out and they knew who they were, why not mention that they were in the same group with Finn and AJ Styles?
I don't know. Did they? I don't think they mentioned that. They didn't say Bullet Club by name. They just kept saying New Japan and IWGP Tag Champs. And
how are you going to mark that? Because unless they bought the rights to Bullet Club, I doubt they did.
Yeah.
You can't. That's something that's marketable. it's I don't know.
You're not going to be able to use the word Bullet Club.
Right.
You're not.
Even though Gallows did the Bullet Club.
Yeah, they did do the little gun thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, I don't want to come off as just like I'm pissed that they're there. No, it's cool to see them there. I'm just saying I would have assumed and preferred that they made their debut with the more markish indie feel vibe of NXT first. Get the exposure there first on the US market. And then debut.
Whenever they talk about Finn Balor's past and whenever they talk about AJ's past in regards to the Bullet Club, have they ever used Bullet Club by name?
A few
Yes,
times.
in NXT.
In NXT.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that can happen with these guys then?
If anything, I like that they're not mentioning it right now on Raw because that still leaves the possibility of there's this brand split going on between the two, that the Bullet Club will be the thing that ties everything together.
Okay.
That they bring all four of them together to raise hell on every show. My only complaint to Travis about why did not debut him on NXT, here's the problem. They would debut him tonight. The episode wouldn't air until August. And then who the fuck would care that they debut?
The same fucking problem that we've had with NXT.
Yeah,
Right.
That's my only shot back at that about what.
But
I agree. I agree. The
means-
environment fits a whole lot better, but they're at first. The internet's going to ruin it. Secondly, NXT themselves on their Twitter or Facebook are going to take the opportunity to ruin it, and then by then
They can ruin it.
Sizzles will ruin it, and then by then the surprise is gone. We're season 7. We don't care who fucking Negan killed. Like, this is the whole point. This is why I'm glad they came out on Raw the way they did.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm bound to have one.
You're entitled to one.
Yeah, one.
This one. I will say Gallows look in good shape.
Yeah, he looked way better than Festus.
Yeah.
The only odd part is he still moves like an action figure.
Yeah.
He still moves stiff like RoboCop. I got that vibe, and he's had that even in New Japan before he left. I guess even he had a lot more bulk on him, so I guess that's why he moves like that as Festus.
Yeah.
How long before we get the Festus chance? Or has he had enough respect from New Japan marks that they're not going to do it?
I think
Somebody's going to be the asshole to do
I
it.
think it's been enough time, I think. It was almost 10 years ago.
You don't think some asshole's going to be out
Well,
there?
yeah, obviously some
There's
assholes
gonna be
you're
an
gonna see a
asshole.
sign. You're gonna see a sign or two in
Say
there,
Festus.
but it's not gonna be like Bray Wyatt's debut where he's next to the crowd and everybody's chanting Husky.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like that.
You know who I feel bad for the most in this whole ordeal? Is Prince Albert. Because I'll watch that in a second. Before all this momentum of, hey, New Japan's a big deal, we need to take their past seriously. The whole reason that they brought in Prince Albert in to be Lord Tensai was because of all the badass shit he was doing as Giant Bernard with Anderson. And instead of capitalizing on his success and just bringing him in as himself, they slapped that freaking Asian gimmick on him, and it went over like a fart in church. And 3 weeks later, he's teaming up with Brodus Clay as a hip hop dude. 3 months later, he's on commentary in NXT. 3 months after that, he's just a trainer for NXT.
And that just, you know what? And
That's sign of the times, I guess.
that is sometimes that's how much just going to word to say this, evolved WWE has become in the last 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. They've changed their format a lot as far as who they're bringing in, how they're presenting the wrestlers, and just trying to give everything more credentials.
And they're being more accepting of the outside world.
Yeah.
Right now, there's 5 different promotions around the world that are actually going to be having matches that are going to be taped by WWE for this Cruiserweight series. And some of the names on this list, it's fucking bananas. Zack Sabre Jr., and then guys like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They're actually trying to lure Lucha Underground guys into this too. So this beast that WWE is becoming, it's nowhere near what this was Tensai ago, basically.
And you could thank CM Punk and Daniel Bryan for that, honestly.
Yeah. You think ROH for that?
I thought about this a week or two ago. With everything that happened with CM Punk,
Uh-huh.
and then we're gonna go off.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go off on something too.
With everything that happened with CM Punk a couple years ago, do you think that with all this fucking talent they're bringing in, this isn't just making CM Punk kind of saliva in the mouth, like, I want to get back into this? Maybe, like, I know he's got an ego on him, you know, and he's stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just who he is. But, I mean, come on, dude. Like, when he was in there, it was basically him and Daniel Bryan, and you got them two together, and that was it. Now, you could have CM Punk with, like, just a slew of these guys from all over.
Yeah, Kevin Zane, Steen, Nakamura,
Claudio. And it's not like he's hurt, not like he's has to retire or anything like that. He just okay, I take that back. Maybe he could be hurt with his back, but
that might not even be in his hands anymore, because he's been training for UFC fight for well over a year, and he's had injuries with his back and now with his shoulder.
He had surgery on his back.
He had surgery also, and the deadline for a lot of people in the MMA world was the UFC 200 card that they've already announced, and that motherfucker is stacked from top to bottom, and there is no Phillip Brooks to be seen. The only way you're going to see Phillip Brooks inside an octagon is by playing UFC 2. And people are already bitching because he has a 97 rating when he hasn't even had a single.
Oh, he's actually in the game?
Yeah. He hasn't even had a single fight yet. He's already got a 97 rating.
Wow.
So if you know how that translates from WWE 2K whatever, yeah, a lot of people are pissing. And he might not even get a chance to have a fight in UFC now.
Right.
So he might not have a choice unless he wants to sit at home and bang AJ 5 days a week until he makes babies. If he wants to come back, that might be his only outlet to do something physical and active.
Yeah. This is a thought that I had about, I don't know what you made me come up with this, but I mean, it was just, he's such a good talent, and he can do so good with all these other talent that they have now, because he got out right when WWE was transitioning into this indie phase.
And he and D-Bry were the reason that it happened. And I wonder how much of this is in spite of CM Punk, and how much is it to spite CM Punk?
Either way, thank you, CM Punk. What's the difference? What's the problem? I mean,
well, for us, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. You got old zombie enthusiast Phillip Brooks sitting at home on the couch. Is he pissed about this, or is he like, man, maybe WWE changed their ways and like wants to get in on it? You don't know. I mean, it's really hard to get into this dude's head because he doesn't think like a normal guy sometimes.
And that's why I don't want him in the ring. I think what's happening right now, he's wrestled with so many of these guys already. He already has a friendship to him where he can tell him, hey, bro, I've been watching you for a bit. This and this isn't working. Try this. He needs to be for everyone else what Paul Heyman was for him. Somebody to show him the rest of the sides of the Rubik's Cube for him to get all the pieces right. If we had a guy like CM Punk backstage helping out all the new guys from indie transition into NXT live television, because apparently this is where this is going. There's too much momentum for it to go to waste. By the time this year is over, there has to be some kind of live NXT. For them to be prepared on the main roster, I would rather see Punk behind the scenes.
So you just got done talking shit about how terrible it was for Tensai to wind up behind the scenes. You're like, it'll be a great idea if CM Punk was behind the scenes.
Because Punk had his time on the main roster. He had his success. He had his longest streak in the modern era of professional wrestling with the title. He got what his hard work reaped for him. He got that. All the hard work Giant Bernard did in Japan, he didn't reap any of it.
He's huge in Japan. That's got to count for something.
I'm just saying, it'd be kind
of cool. A lot of yen.
Dude, exchange rate though.
I'm just saying, it'd be kind of cool to see Summer Punk 2.
Oh,
him like go through like one-on-one matches with AJ, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Owens, all of these people that they've got.
Tommy.
How about the land of the burning Nakamura?
Yeah.
I love the fact that now I can talk to my nephew about the new wrestling renaissance. We had the Attitude Era. We had the Monday Night War with ECW ammo. And now we have like everything in the world matters now.
Yeah.
Whether it's Mexican wrestling, wrestling in Britain, wrestling in London, wrestling in Japan, wrestling everywhere, wrestling here. There's enough vegetables here that you put them all in the pot. It's just the United States, and you got a beefy stew. Like, there's a lot going on here. I'm hungry. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I love that. Like,
I got your beefy stew right here.
Like, there was a renaissance of sports entertainment in the 90s. Now we're like in a renaissance of pro wrestling.
Okay.
No
yeah.
entertainment value. You're just watching this because you want to see people fight and beat the shit out of each other. And
Hopefully
getting
you're
everywhere.
right. Hopefully you're right, because they're
For WWE to be
The
capitalizing
seeds-
it on it by
the
getting all
seeds
of
are
it.
there.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Still, that's the harvest that's still out there right now. The thing that people are pulling out of the grounds, the things that aren't the seeds, is Roman Reigns.
All these indie fed stars are going to be built up to get killed by Roman Reigns.
Exactly. Which, you
He's the martyr.
You had all of these fucking badass people that had like all this momentum that we thought was, going to be the new top of the mountain. You had fucking Umaga and Bobby Lashley and MVP and all these people that they would built up and built up and built up to feed to Cena or to Batista or Orton. And then it's like, bleh.
And that's what they're going to do here with Reigns.
Yeah, like, oh, let's get Nakamura. That's going to be a good meal for Roman
I'm
Reigns.
waiting for the first hour after Payback to go through Facebook and Twitter and read everyone bitch about how, man, they built up AJ Styles just to have him lose. Fuck this company. And 3 weeks later, oh my God, Nakamura, I love this company.
Yeah.
3 weeks. This is going to be like 3 hours.
Yeah. The next night on Raw, Nakamura versus Roman Reigns. Oh my God, it's a wet dream. Da, 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 da. And like, well, guess what? It's a wet nightmare.
People online are already saying, "Oh fuck, they're gonna just feed AJ to Roman Reigns."
They are.
They are. And we said that last week when it was official, and AJ was like, all right, so who's pissed?
Yeah. Because, this is Roman's first fucking title defense.
No. This is the third run Roman's getting with the heavyweight title. Let's not forget that.
Well,
It's easy to forget because we didn't give a shit on either one of the first two.
Okay. Well, his first title defense with this
Post
time with his-
WrestleMania.
yeah,
It's kind of a big deal.
he's gonna win.
And that's another reason I'm glad Sami Zayn didn't win, because I at first I thought, okay, if he wins it's a triple threat, oh great, Roman Reigns can just take out 2 internet darlings in the same match.
That's true.
He can pin Zayn and keep AJ's credibility.
No, pin both of them at the same time.
Oh, stack him up like cardboard,
Yeah.
Michael.
Ambidextrous Superman punches at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the Sonic Boom.
What else
Smack
we got?
Talker Skywalker.
Enzo.
Cass and Enzo.
Oh, yes.
After the Dudleys damn near killed, what's his face, the little wetback.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about. I want to bring this up. Okay, it was supposed another tag team tourney match. It was going to be the Dudleys versus Lucha Dragons.
Right.
The match comes back from a commercial break. But the match, Lucha did their entrance, but they came back. Dudleys were already matching. The match had already started, and Kalisto was out on the floor. And I was like, did I miss something? And I did. It was all through the commercial break.
Yeah.
So they rewound back to the commercial break. Kalisto, he took a fall on the outside, and then Devon clotheslined him, and he hit his back. But anyway, he stole that for like the whole fucking match, to the point where Sin Cara had to come in and fill in for him, and everybody was even pointing out, hey, he's not the little guy, like making it like part of the match. But what kind of fucking booking was that? Like, I was confused as hell. Like,
yeah.
did he really hurt himself? I really thought that he was hurt, and they were trying to run with it and try to, just go with the flow. But apparently, he wasn't really hurt, and that was just a thing they did for the match. What?
It gave us 15 minutes of Bully Ray. That's why I'm not complaining.
Okay.
Bully bitching at the referees, Bully bitching at the fans, Bully bitching at Sin Cara. Bully. We got 15 minutes of TNA Bully Ray in this motherfucker. I'm not complaining.
Which is probably like one of the only things that we wouldn't complain about seeing TNA in WWE. TNA Bully Ray.
Besides maybe Robert Roode. Maybe.
No, I complain the shit out of that.
Come the fuck on.
No, but
It took I knew I was going to get you to crack.
no. Bully Ray in TNA version of Bully Ray needs to be in WWE programming. And okay, yeah, I get. I see both sides of the coin here from you guys. On the one hand, yeah. No. You were complaining that what the fuck happened with Sin Cara and
I
all the
was Bully.
booking.
I was like, I didn't see anything about Bully.
Yeah. But Chris's counterpoint was, hey, we got a lot of bully. So yeah, I'm glad that we got a lot of bully. But then again, the same way how I feel about the Shane stuff. I like that we have Shane there and what all he's doing. I just don't like how we got there. I like the bully stuff and the fact that we got bully. I just don't like how we got there.
There was a tag team tournament.
Hey.
The Dudleys are a tag team.
Yes.
Therefore, they're in the tournament.
Yes. No, I got that. I meant the Kalisto falling and like he was an illegal guy and trying to stop the match
That's
and
my
not
point.
stop the match. Yeah, that's your point. I'm agreeing with you, Travis. I'm agreeing.
All right.
On both
I'm trying to get you
sides of
back on
the
track here.
I know, I'm on track. He's the one trying to throw me off track. I'm trying to agree with both of you motherfuckers.
What are you agreeing with him for?
Because he's right too.
About what?
About different stuff. God damn it. He's right about bully being bullied.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So anyway, after the match, after they win, Cass and Enzo come out.
Yeah.
And they continue to. I kind of wish that Enzo didn't do his intro again, because we got that last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how Bully stopped. Like, he didn't stop him, but he got on the mic and he went back and forth with him for a minute. But good segment, I thought. I'd like to see more of it, especially if these. Oh, yes.
How much more?
Not a whole lot more,
Okay.
because it will get old after a while.
That's what I'm saying. It was
Like I'm saying, I didn't want to do his intro again.
for as much as we gripe about the NXT taping schedule. I think one of the reasons that we never really got tired of the Cass and Enzo gimmick was because we didn't see it every week. Now we're going to be seeing it on Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
At some point, this could become like you in the New Day, where you're just going to tune them out because of what they say.
Came to that point in NXT with him, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because he does the. If they could kind of tighten up that little entrance a little bit better and not make it to where it's like a whole diatribe of who he is and what Cass is and he's 7 feet tall and can't teach that, yada, how you doing. If they can narrow that down.
They did. That's why they didn't bring Carmella.
No, I'm talking about even more than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, if they can condense that, make it to where it's as quick as, oh, you didn't know, or something like that, to where.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because this is what I was going to say in response to all this. If they're going out there just to have a promo or a talking segment or something, they don't need to start it off with, you can't teach that whole shtick.
Right.
They don't need to
That's
start that.
Match only. Just
Yeah,
do it if it's a match.
Yeah, if it's a match, then you go out, because that's how the New Age Outlaws did it. You know, when their music hit, when they go out for a match, oh, you didn't know, and then they did it, everything. But if they're going out there just to talk smack, they went out there and they talked smack, and then they ended it with the suck it stuff. You know, which I think that's the kind of formula that they should use with this. Yeah, sure, end it on the soft, but you don't need to start with the fucking, and you can't teach that every fucking time. Because I'm agreeing with your point. Why when I agree with you, you always make it sound like I'm not agreeing with you?
You take a while to get there.
Right.
But would you be pissed off if you went to see Raw in Houston and they don't do the catchphrase and you wanted to do it?
It depends if I've gotten that.
If you got out of the house?
I'm not going to go there. Fuck that. I already know I'm not going to go. But no, by the time we get to Raw in Houston and they've been doing that every week, I don't care if I don't see it that week. No. But if they're like a special attraction and they're not on Raw like every week, then okay, then maybe I want to see it when they come out. It depends. It depends on how I feel about it at that time.
Does
I'll do it because I'm a fucking Mark.
Does Kevin Dunn want to talk about the women this week, or does it even?
I don't know. This is.
Well, you really can't, because you know
Yeah.
what? With the dissolve of the Divas division, I just don't think there's any fuel for the fire for Kevin Dunn anymore.
Oh, are we officially retiring Kevin Dunn from the show?
I don't know.
Or is that a challenge?
You know
You
what?
just look like the fire's not in you this week.
No, there's not. Mostly because I'm trying to remember what the hell happened.
Charlotte versus Natalia.
I'm gonna call you out on it.
Yes.
Are you already losing interest in the division now that Sasha or Becky are not involved?
I'm not losing.
No,
I'm not
not
losing,
yet.
I'm not losing interest. It's disconcerting that Sasha wasn't on TV, and Becky was just in a YouTube exclusive Fallout video.
Mm-hmm. Although that might be an interesting thing with Becky and Emma now starting a program.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that.
I would definitely
Not our main event though.
Right. Which, oh yeah, by the way, it was at the main event tapings or the SmackDown tapings. Paige versus Emma.
Match of the week candidate.
Yeah, that was definitely a match of the week candidate. Out of main event, who'd have fucking thunk it? But out of that Tuesday night when we were sitting there watching live the SmackDown main event tapings, that was the best fucking match we saw, and it was going to be on main event. What the fuck, WWE?
I'm trying to remember again because I was wrestled out, but the Stardust match we saw, I also really liked.
Yeah,
That was the dark match, I think, right? Or
Yeah.
was that for main event also?
I think it was a dark.
Ziggler?
Yeah.
Stardust Ziggler?
That was a dark
Love
match.
it.
I
believe.
remember because I heard the theme music from the concession stand.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a dark match.
I missed the whole fucking match in the fucking concession stand.
20 minutes and $15 later,
Yeah.
you had a
No,
mini,
no bullshit. I missed the whole fucking thing.
a mini Papa John's pizza.
It was good.
Yeah,
Papa John's.
it was mini also.
She got 2 pizzas for that. Dang.
Well, the $15 also included a drink too. So
Yeah, wow.
the pizza was like $9.50, I think.
Oof,
She had just gone balls in and got the souvenir cup.
I'm glad I didn't. I needed the cash.
he didn't have enough as it was. It was actually $15.50, and the lady cut him a fucking break. 50 cents, man.
Was that it from Raw?
Almost.
Because there's one thing I wanted to mention. Oh, and we need to go back and circle around to our push keep fire.
That's where I was going.
Okay. Bill, while you're pulling that up, I'm sure you're pulling up the responses and everything. I just want to throw this out here about overall for Raw for me.
Mm-hmm.
Chris might agree because you actually said Raw was surprising. I don't know if you meant that in a good way or bad way. But for me, I was pleasantly surprised with Raw.
Okay.
And booking wise is one thing. I mentioned before, Shane McMahon, I thought they did a good job in making him feel like he was part of the show this week, as opposed to half-assing it the week before. And
Yeah.
it's kind of obviously they're trying to play catch up because they didn't know what they're doing last week.
Mhm.
This week it seemed like they had a week to prepare.
You think all the Shane stuff was just kind of hot-shotted in there?
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Before this week.
Yeah.
Now we got something. But Shane was one thing that takes care of the authority aspect of things. But overall, look at the I want to say the vibe of the show and how different it is with the roster. Dude, we had fucking Kaz and Enzo on the main stage talking shit to Dudleys. We had AJ versus Sami Zayn.
Yep.
We had Owens versus Cesaro.
Yeah.
We had the Bullet Club, Gallows and Anderson debut. Look at all this was on Raw.
And last week, we had the debut of Cass and Enzo. We had a 4-way main event that had AJ, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho for a #1 contender.
Oh, that reminds me.
Highlight reel.
Highlight reel.
Ambrose Asylum.
Yeah.
we'll
Would you?
get there.
Okay.
What I meant these last 2 weeks, surprising for me, as in I haven't been this interested in watching Raw in a while because we're getting stuff that I wasn't expecting.
Right.
Day after WrestleMania, Shane's dead. I wasn't expecting him to run Raw, regardless of how we got there. I know it sucks, but at the end of the day, I just want to forget about it.
It's for the betterment of the company, I think.
Me personally, I just want to forget WrestleMania 32 happened. Yeah. So all right, the reset button's been pushed. We blew the air in the cartridge. All right, let's play.
Yeah.
So last week's Raw, last week's SmackDown, and last night's Raw, I have not been more interested in the WWE main product in a while because of what you just said. And I'm going to highlight some stuff he didn't say because even though I don't like it, it's still different. Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
It's a fresh roster, whether you like it or you hate it. It's fresh, and fresh is good.
And not only that, they finally appeased everybody. They got rid of the Divas title. It's now the Women's Championship. That brings credibility back to that whole division. I think and that's what I'm saying. That goes all in all. Like that's part of the whole complete package.
The only thing I want to see more of, I don't want to see just one feud involving the women in the title.
I agree.
All right, we got Emma versus Becky. Awesome. Give me Sasha versus Summer Rae. Give me one more match.
And not just one-off matches.
Not one-off matches. Yeah, build stuff. That way, I don't want to see, we're just having one main feud that we care about on the main roster, and then once that woman's interchanged, we're going to put different meat in the grinder, and it's all going to come out the same way. Everything. I want to see every woman on there actually wrestle for something that matters.
Yeah.
You know,
The only-
fuck it. Test it out at least with the women. Do it. They already have their top 10 rankings on the website. Fuck it. Go UFC style and do a ranking for the women. If it works,
Here's the problem with that, and I fear that they're going to do the same thing with Charlotte that they did with Nikki Bella, and that is feeding everybody to her, and at the same time she's going to have Ric Flair doing something to cause her to win.
Yeah.
You know,
Which almost kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, I kind of said it half-assed last week, but Bacon agreed with me.
You just said it half-assed now.
Yeah, Bacon agreed with me. It's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna have the women's, revolution and everything, but the woman who is the actual champ needs the help of a man to actually get like, oh, come on, I mean, if that's gonna continue to persist, it kind of undermines the whole fucking idea,
Cliff notes: thumbs up or thumbs down on Dr. Phil.
I'll give it a middle because
I'll give it a middle.
It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
The stuff outside in the ring, him out-wooing Ric Flair and actually stepping up to him,
Yeah.
I was actually entertained by the end of that segment.
The stuff he was saying made sense within the character realm.
After the initial 15 seconds of, I forgot this bald fuck is on this program tonight.
No, they kept it
He
short and
kind of
sweet.
redeemed it for me at the end.
Yeah.
The backstage.
Like,
segment.
it pretty much says, stand on your own 2 feet. And he did it in the way that Dr. Phil would. What's on the bottom of my feet? Oh, well, yes.
I kind of enjoyed when he came out. I thought he was going to do commentary. I was like, ugh. But I enjoyed how Byron Texas he was getting his analysis.
Yeah.
I liked that. It was
like Jerry Springer's final thought, basically.
Sort of. No, because that's giving too much insulting.
That's different.
No, seriously, they were trying to present him as a counselor or whatever,
Therapist.
Yeah, therapist.
I'll take the rapist for 1,000, Alex.
Let it snow. It's Let It Snow. Anal bum cover. That's album cover. God, they need to do a best of that shit.
No, I was gonna say, I don't know how I thought about this, but I said I'm gonna have to, besides the humble pie for the other one, I'm gonna have to eat another slice of humble pie.
Yeah, you're fat for that cruise. You flotation device, man.
You'll like this one, Abel.
Okay.
Miz made me laugh.
Yes.
The backstage, the facial fucking Groupon. Fuck.
No, like redoing his line.
Yeah, with the extra tape.
I actually laughed at that.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
I don't know if it's because Maurice is so nailed chalkboard and irritating. But Miz is like, she plays off her really well.
Yeah.
I promise you, before Payback's over, we're gonna have Maurice in a push keep fire.
Okay.
How pissed off? How happy are you gonna be when the Miz beats Cesaro at Payback? Who's gonna get more butthurt? The Cesaro fans or the AJ fans? That's an ass case WR right there.
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting because
Sponsored by Preparation HWR.
it was interesting because on the one hand, they're pushing Cesaro. He's got new merch and he's got a new push. And for Miz to have the title, it feels like he's holding it for somebody. It doesn't feel like he's the actual holder.
Does it feel like he's holding it for Ryder?
No. He beat him solidly. No.
Okay.
On the other hand,
and no other mention of him since.
yes.
I know. That's what made me nervous last night. I thought Ryder was going to come out and somehow shenanigans somewhere and interject himself.
That's on one hand. On the other hand, whenever someone comes out in a gimmick like the suit, as funny as it is, like it's not supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be funny. I don't think. Maybe it's supposed to be. I don't know. But when it's too gimmicky, and I don't think he could do that as an IC champion. So I think that's hindering him from being a champion.
You don't think he can rip away all the clothes and he'll have the title belt wearing underneath?
He'd be like John Cena wearing a T-shirt with a picture of a belt on it.
Oh shit.
Anyway, that was. Do we have we had something for this week, right?
Yeah, we had a push keep fire. I was bored during Raw last night, and I.
What did you say? How good the show was? He said,
No, I was distracted during Raw.
Oh.
I rarely talk on the phone ever, and I had an hour-long conversation with my father because he had to vent, which made it very hard to comprehend what was going on television, hearing him on the other end venting. So it's hard to concentrate. So when I hung up, I was like, oh, what can I do to make myself better? And then I saw Roman Reigns in the League of Nations. Like, okay, League of Nations. There's 3 now. I know what it's time for. Push, keep, fire. Explain the rules.
All right, so rules are simple. Basically, if you were the booker of the company, out of these wrestlers, who would you push, who would you keep, and who would you fire?
Abel,
Yes.
do you have yours off the top of your head?
Let me
Because
see.
you hate Sheamus.
Let me see if I can.
No, you hate Del Rio.
Let me see if I can pull it right out of my ass.
That's what I was
Yeah, let's fire Del Rio. Yeah, Del Rio, this second go around, I was hoping that he was going to be more than what he was or is. And no, I like him better on Lucha. I like him better at AAA. WWE, just, I don't know. It's just, maybe they don't book him as strongly as he could be. Maybe he just, I don't know. There's just something that doesn't fit with him. So I'm firing his ass.
Has your perception of Del Rio in the company changed after the whole fallout of how he left the company the first time?
No, if anything, that should help the way I feel about him in WWE. Because it's like, yeah, man, he shouldn't, punch that guy out. Yeah, he should be, a good representative for Hispanic people in WWE. Like, I should care about him more. But instead, it's the opposite for me because I don't think that they handle him right, and I don't think he fits in right. So, yeah, fire. So now I have to decide who I want to push. And for me, I'm going to go with Rusev. Oh, Ruru. Oh. Like, I think there's so much untapped potential there because we saw him as a monster, built up as just this unilateral, one-dimensional monster heel, just going, taking out people. And then every now and again, especially now, you see this weird, quirky humor that, like, he has that you have to kind of pay attention to. It's like,
I'm better looking than you two.
Yeah! Like,
I laughed, like, embarrassingly laughed. Like,
yeah.
I've said that once or twice.
You
No,
know-
I'm not all that.
You know who I'm comparing him to right now? No, to Big E. Big E before the stuff with the New Day.
When he was Ziggler's bodyguard?
Yeah, when he was the heavy,
With the
and that's
stupid-
it. Yeah, like there was like, okay, we know he could do some other stuff. I know that he can be funny because you see it on Twitter.
He has
and stuff.
range.
Yeah, he has that range, but they're not letting him do it.
No,
They're
he's got
just
on it.
yeah.
He's helping him.
Oh, ooh.
That's range.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a long range. I know that there's more to Rusev, and I want to push him and see what he could do. So I guess that means that we'll just keep Sheamus, which is sad because I think that you could have done a lot with Sheamus as well.
But here's the sadder thing. So far, between you and this list, no one is pushing Sheamus.
Wow.
No one.
There's a reason for that.
Who do you got?
All right. I'm going to say Del Rio. You're fired.
Oh,
Wow.
Don't express.
Nah, you're a white guy. Firing the Mexican.
Damn right. Come on. All right. So
that's hiring him.
Go build a wall.
Mexico band.
I pay for it yourself.
Oh God, this country. All right. We vote for people like that. All right. So
I hope I don't go to jail for this. He's getting shot before the year's over.
Yeah, Del Rio's fired. Secondly, Sheamus, buddy, I'm keeping you around. Maybe it's because the ginger in you. I don't know, but I'm.
Two biased choices so far. Why are we not surprised?
Here's the thing. Sheamus, he's had his go as champ more than once. We saw where it go. And I think he plays more not as a leader of a faction. I think he plays more as a straight up brawler, especially with the Celtic Warrior gimmick. I think they shouldn't have strayed from that whole serious brogue, warrior type thing. And then we have only one option left, Rusev. You touched on it a second ago. There's untapped potential there.
Yeah.
Especially now, it looks like he's getting into shape. He's looking a little bit slimmer or more. Something's changed with him recently. I don't know what it is. But we've seen kind of a push with him a couple years ago when he was anti-America.
Yeah.
All Americans were going up against him and they were losing. That didn't really go anywhere. But there's something that's different between then and now. The difference is we don't have John Cena to stop that momentum. You could argue to say Roman Reigns, but we're not there yet. If Roman Reigns is a heel by the time we get there, that's a different story. So we could have, if we have a nonstop push for Rusev, I think we could see something. Like you said, untapped potential. That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised the geeks didn't even comment on this. I'm gonna push Rocksteady.
You mean
Really?
And that's exactly why.
Because he's in a movie.
Like, I'm surprised no one's done. It lights up when I get a text message. I'm surprised not one of our listeners that are also heavy in the pop culture haven't even pointed that out yet. I'm gonna whore that shit out while I can. From the moment that movie's released until the movie hits Redbox, he's champ.
They fucked it. No, see,
I'm keeping Rusev because he's straight to DVD in a movie that's supposed to be about a cop who's really a wrestler, but he's gonna stop a bomb going off at a wrestling show. So a wrestler is gonna be kicking a cop when really we know as wrestling fans the cop's a wrestler, and we've seen this match 1,000 times. It's been match of the week half of the time. It's confusing as fuck. It's probably sponsored by TNA. So I'm keeping Rusev.
You know what? Honestly, I think that movie might even be better. So you're wrong. You should flip that one. If you're just going off of the movie.
No, Teenage Ninja Turtles 2 looks like it's going to do what the first one should have done, completely compel the kids. This part 2 looks like it's literally being pulled out of an 80s cartoon.
Okay.
So I'm giving it an honest
I do
shot.
like the fact they're using 80s hip hop for their trailers.
That too. By default,
That appeals to me.
By default, I'll have to fire Del Rio. I think they had the iron blazing hot the second he returned from Hell in a Cell and beat John Cena out of nowhere in this U.S. title tournament. They completely dropped the ball on that. Stitching the Mexican flag with the American flag and having Coulter come out.
They're still forced.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We called it. The Mexican title.
There was
Stick some stickers on it, do something, represent it as something else, make us hate our own kind.
And that didn't even lead to the obvious feud with Jack Swagger.
Nothing.
It was just oh yeah, we're a thing. And oh fuck, that was so bad.
Nothing.
I hate WWE. Why are we talking about this?
So he left Lucha Underground. Yeah. Now there's so much going on in Lucha. I don't even think he'll matter in Lucha.
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
He's not missed. He's not missed.
Especially with the rumors that MVP is going to be showing up on Lucha Underground too. I don't want to see him and Del Rio there. That'd be a little bit too much.
Yeah. You know where I want to see Del Rio? New Japan.
Okay. Why not AAA?
Been there, done that. What's he going to do in AAA that he hasn't already done?
I don't know.
I saw him for a cup of coffee in ROH. Probably do more of that.
Ugh.
They can build up his MMA career in New Japan and make him a credible threat pretty easily.
Okay.
And especially with those Ingobernables going on right now in Japan, he'd be a pretty good fit.
With the what?
Ingobernables.
What the fuck is that?
The Ungovernables.
What are the Ungovernables?
It's literally
English motherfucker. Do you speak it?
It's a heel clique that's going on through AAA from Europe and in Japan. Okada lost the belt to their leader, Naito.
Okay.
And they're I lost it.
Sorry.
Del Rio, New Japan.
You know, I just laughed because
you're laughing now.
No option was TNA.
Robert Medlin, push Del Rio. He's looking consistently strong during his matches.
Really? What is he watching?
Keep Rusev. Put him back with Lana and see if he can have some good runs with the other big guys.
Okay.
Fire Sheamus. Yep, the fella has run his course.
No.
Jeremy Clinton. Push Rusev, and I personally hate Rusev.
Wait, what?
What did Rusev do to you?
Probably took Lana.
Well, he's still pushing him. So.
Keep Sheamus. Fire Del Rio. The guy is completely checked out and doesn't appear to want to be there.
I agree with that.
That is hitting the nail on the head. It sometimes seems like he just doesn't care.
I thought that was Barrett.
No, that was to me.
Barrett looked like he was making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah.
No, Del Rio. All he does.
Del Rio looks disinterested.
Yeah, he just does this little whatever that fucking thing is he does. And then when he does his promos, and his matches, whatever.
Andrew Williams, fire Del Rio. He's way better not in WWE. Push Rusev, dude's a beast. Keep Sheamus. Despite popular opinion, the dude is a workhorse who deserves more credit. Hugh. Push Rusev. Keep Sheamus. Fire Del Rio and replace with Barrett.
Oh, okay.
Barrett.
Well,
Fucking
That
Barrett.
fourth guy.
yeah, the guy who doesn't want to be there.
Daryl Hughes. Push Rusev. Keep Sheamus. Fire Del Rio. He's a better fit in Lucha Underground.
No, maybe I don't know. We just talked about that.
Yeah. Hey, Daryl Hughes is around. That's good. Dylan Robert Howland III. Push Rusev. Keep Sheamus. Fire Del Rio. I was enjoying his run on Lucha. Jeff Milheims. Push Rusev. Keep Sheamus. Fire Del Rio. Del Rio seemed a better fit in outside organizations. Rusev never really got a push except against Cena. Adrian Roddy. Push Rusev. Fire both Del Rio and Sheamus.
That's not how you play the game.
I'm cheating.
That's not how this works.
I'm cheating. So what? They're dull. LOL.
Yeah.
Dull? D-U-L-L?
Yeah. Dull.
Okay.
Iffy. Push Rusev. Keep Del Rio. Fire Sheamus. Hector Reyes. Push Del Rio. Keep Sheamus. Fire Rusev. And Aaron Garcia. Push Rusev. Keep Del Rio. Fire Shane Ass. Nobody pushed Sheamus. Nobody.
Nobody pushed him.
He's had his chance. I hate to say that because he's a villain.
That's it for the Push Keep Fire for this week.
Well, guys, thank you so much for chiming in on our Facebook page on the Push Keep Fire. So
I'm
thank
going to
you.
ask you for the 47th time.
Yes.
Do you want to start over?
No, not today.
Can I let me just throw this out here. It was a 4-person group, now it's 3. Would you replace Barrett with anybody? And if you had to replace him, who would you replace?
Ooh, Kevin Owens because he's Canadian. Duh. No.
It's not that bad of an idea.
I don't fucking care. That group has been like a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the worst group, League of Nations or Social Outcasts?
Social Outcasts.
League of Nations. I'm entertained by Social Outcasts.
Are you?
Bo Dallas wearing Kurt Angle gear. Come on. You hate it, but I love the stupid train, knowing that I'm hoping one day the Young Bucks are going to be at the other end. Super kick party on every single one of those motherfuckers, like Amtrak in Mississippi. Like, fuck. At least I get entertained by the Social Outcasts. I look at the Social Outcasts and I can see that they're not going to get any better than the way they are now. I look at the League of Nations and think, you know what? Rusev could be a lot better right now if he's on his own. Sheamus could probably be doing a lot better if he's on his own. Del Rio probably doing a lot better if he had a visa. Like, no, they need to be separated.
I don't agree with you being entertained, but I do agree with you that League of Nations, they're separate individually.
They're better than
2 out of
some
3
of the parts.
Yeah.
So that's the show.
Okay.
Nobody went to Doomsday. Nobody went to ROW.
Okay, you know what? I got something to say about that. This past weekend was both Doomsday and ROW, right? So we're like, oh, okay, scheduling conflict, whatever. Some people will decide to go to one or the other.
That's what you asked.
But
Who
yes,
posted that?
I posted that.
Oh, okay.
I posted
I'll
that.
find it.
Okay. And I was sitting here thinking that, okay, well, for one time, it's fine, whatever. This hasn't happened before. It probably won't happen since, or since then. But here's the thing: the Doomsday thing, they named it. Like, the name of their show now is the Second Saturday Show. Okay, so that means they're going to run every second Saturday of every month. Okay, cool. But ROW has always been running their shows on the second Saturday of every month, but they don't say it as the second Saturday. They always just throw out the date. It just always happens to be the second Saturday. So I think what happened here was that maybe somebody didn't, have the foresight there, to research or whatever. And it really, really sucks for people that like both because, now everybody's going to have to choose one over the other. And it's going to be a tough decision for some people.
Well, we don't have to choose.
Well, it is still going to be a tough decision. I mean, I threw it out. Now, this was just this week,
right,
or this month. I said, hey, who's going to what? If you said reality or wrestling, you already know. Jeff Derrickson, the free one's got a huge leg up on the other, which would be Doomsday, because it was a free show.
But that one was. Going forward, they're not free, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Because the next one is going to be numbers, like they always have been.
Yeah.
No, is it? I thought it was still going to be at the new place.
No, they have a deal with
Okay.
numbers still. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Aaron Garcia, Doomsday. Scott Thompson, neither. Scott the
Sounds
Scott.
like Travis.
That was my interaction.
Not Kevin Farron. Okay, well, who are you not then? Okay, well, anyway, he says Doomsday. So everybody on here, with the exception of Iffy, said they're going to Doomsday. So that kind of sucks. I don't know what's gonna actually happen with that. Are we gonna have this from here on out for the next 3, 4, 5 years?
I think they called it the second Saturday because that was the second event that they held that was held by anyone outside. They're trying to make that a thing.
The Doomsday is.
No.
Yeah.
No, second Saturday is the thing. Yeah.
No, that area, that whatever it's called, that they had,
The marketplace, whatever.
Yeah, the market square.
Yeah.
They want to make it a theme where there's public things going on the weekends, and I think that was the
It's not just in Houston, bro. It's everywhere. There's the comic shop next to my work. Second Saturday. It's like a thing. Like second Saturday of the month. Like everybody does. The small businesses, they all do something.
Well, then why is the next Doomsday thing also on the second Saturday, even though it's at numbers?
Because the Garden Oak, whatever district area where they're having these live events, they're trying to do what San Antonio does. San Antonio in their district, in the old Hispanic district that they have, there's always events going on every Saturday where tourists can have something to do. This is the first time I've heard in being here that there's something going on at this side of town on Saturday nights for you to have something to do in downtown.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, in my opinion, is why they named it the second Saturday show, because that was the second Saturday show that they were having there in that area.
Well, shit, maybe you were misinformed, because when I had Brandy check, she looked in the schedule on the planner and she said, "Yep, next month it's going to be on the same weekend as well." So I don't know, maybe we're mistaken on that. Maybe we need to look back into it.
See,
but man, if it is, dude, this is gonna suck. For every month, you're gonna have to choose between Doomsday or ROW.
Doomsday has never been monthly.
I know it.
And this is the first show that has been free, so this might have been a one-off show.
I hope so.
So after this Doomsday, we might not get another one for 8 years.
No, the next one is already booked.
Yeah, the Cage one.
Yeah.
After the Cage one,
After
we
that
probably
one?
won't get one for 8 years.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe somebody from Doomsday can let us know.
Doomsday in a cage does sound entertaining, though.
Yeah, it does. So
Yeah.
Okay, that being said,
We're not going to end the show on a downer, are we?
well, no, let's not. We'll get to this thing, but then we have something else that we can end on.
Okay.
All right. During the course of the show,
Shit always happens while we're recording.
I know while we're recording, it always
Mae
happens.
Young died twice.
What?
The
Twice?
Ultimate Warrior died. Now who's on the chopping block? Who's in our Deadpool?
Well, it looks like Balls Mahoney, Scott from Scotland, sent us all a message and gave us a link or whatever. It looks like that's up on the interwebs. It says here on wordsofpain.com that Balls Mahoney has passed away at age of 44. Several of his friends in the business remember him on social media. Chris Candido's brother, Johnny, says a friend saw an ambulance parked in front of Mahoney's house, and when he called his wife, she gave him the unfortunate news. Johnny later said that Balls died suddenly in his home, and that we'll keep you updated for more information. So, breaking news, yeah, Balls Mahoney passed away, so that sucks.
Rest in peace.
Yes, indeed. So that's not cool. Yeah, but all the people to live fast. This would be Balls Mahoney. He had a hell of a life. Being anybody that was an ECW original. Holy shit! They saw some stuff in there.
How did Scruffy put it on Futurama? The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Yes, I think that's
basically anybody in ECW.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get more news out of that within the next coming hours and days and whatnot. So, let's not end on that. Let's not end on a downer, but let's end on something that was hysterical, something that almost had me pissing my pants before you got here, Chris.
You pulled down your pants and laughed?
Well, no, I kept them on.
Oh, okay.
If I pulled down my pants, I wouldn't be pissing my pants.
Okay.
I'd just be pissing the floor.
I'm trying to remember what we talked about before.
Well, let me give you a reminder.
Okay, I think.
Apparently, a certain restaurant owner.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the Sin Cara beef?
No.
The Twitter beef?
No,
the
no.
tweef?
No.
Okay.
Scott Steiner apparently
Oh,
owns a Shoney's. What? Scott Steiner owns a Shoney's restaurant, apparently. And it's across the street from a Hardee's restaurant, where apparently in Georgia, I think it said, was it Cherokee County? I think it said, yeah, Cherokee County, Georgia. there was something going on where one guy had road rage with another guy and like chased him down and like was going to shoot the guy, right? And Scott Steiner witnessed it all. And the local news, interviewed Scott Steiner. And apparently they had no idea who the fuck Scott Steiner was, just some dude. They listed him as Scott Steiner, witness. But they were interviewing Scott Steiner like the business owner or the restaurant owner. Like,
former WCW heavyweight champion.
No, they didn't even say that. They had no fucking clue who he was. So here's big ass Scott Steiner with the fucking painted up mustache goatee shit out there talking like normal, like a normal fucking human being. No Steiner math, no nothing, just like, oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. You went in there and this is usually a quiet town, really laid back. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? You're Scott fucking Steiner. Why aren't you throwing any Steiner math? Who is this guy that's like no-selling who the fuck you are? This guy really doesn't know what the hell's going on. And then after all that buffoonery, where showing the guy not knowing who the fuck he's interviewing, he goes over to the victim's house or whatever to knock on the door to get an interview. They show him on the local news knocking on the door. Nobody answering, him taking a business card and sticking it in the door saying they were not available for comment, and then just walking away. Georgia's finest news reporting there, people. Holy shit.
Besides the strip clubs, I don't know why anybody wants to go to Georgia.
Not even the strip clubs. All the girls there are from Georgia.
You must not be an ass man.
It was just humorous. It was almost
very
like
humorous.
It almost felt like a fake news,
almost
like something you see on Daily Show. Or
yeah, something. So thanks to friend of the show Brandon Stroud for putting up that thing on his uprocks.com little corner of the interwebs. So you can check that out. So ta-da. Anything else, fellas, before we get on up out of here?
It's late.
All right. Then adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Bye.
Restaurant owner. Shoney's.
Oh, you didn't mention they showed like the
yes,
the Shoney's sign. It was like above the other restaurant.
The Hardee's.
The Hardee's. It was Hardee's, and you said the Shoney's next to it. It was the light up sign is an S, H, and everything else is burnt out.
God damn it, Scott Steiner. Man, change your light bulb.
And only the S was burned out, and it was called Honey's.
No, it'll be Honey's.
Just the H and O was lit up. That's all.
Hoey's?
Hose.
No,
just the SH.
Oh fuck. Let's just get
Oh,
man. Jesus.
All right. Bye, everybody.